Welcome to ToV Live. It is Valhalla time. Welcome everyone to the live stream tonight. We are talking about everything Heroscape, Age of Annihilation that's been going on this past week. I am Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. And we have, above me here, Ben, MK Plus Ultra. Other side here, Joe Crazy, 3193. Jeremy, the Elysium, call it. Jason, Rocco Robotics, our usual guests for tonight. Welcome, guys, to the stream. Have we...
Who's ready to go on this adventure?
Oh my gosh, and yeah, it probably starts with feet. And we'll get into that in a minute. I do have something to talk about first. I want to pull this up, so I'm actually going to turn off here. I'm going to pause this background music because I have a gift for you guys tonight.
It wasn't my birthday.
Wait, us or the viewers?
My birthday.
All y'all.
Oh,
and especially for,
everybody gets.
Especially for Chris himself. And this is something that I don't do often, actually at all, because I just don't sing, but I'm gonna have to tonight.
What?
So this comes from a comment that I saw last week where N. Carmine was saying we also accept sea shanties, and this shout out to Fast Billy 1. Who inspired me to do this, because I love the Wellerman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Wellerman.
Yeah.
I'm quite familiar with it, and I love that song. And so I took from, because I was reading what Fast Billy 1 was writing down. I'm like, it doesn't seem to match with the tune too much, so I tweaked things a little bit. But Fast Billy, I do want to give you credit for inspiring and for some of these lyrics. But I do have the Wellerman version of Heroscape. Spent the weekend writing this, so I'll let you guys be the judges and critiques for this. And I do not have a singing voice, but
are you doing it live?
I'm doing it live.
Why? You should have recorded it earlier in the week.
I had no time for that. I literally was finessing
You're not gonna have
lyrics.
any music. Do you have music? Do you have
No, but I might record something in the future. But this is just a test. This is just a test out, and
okay.
Acapella.
To see,
You want me to count you down?
to see how you guys do with these with these lyrics and how it goes.
Oh wait,
but
we
Chris,
all singing or
no. I'll sing.
Okay,
I'll
I was like,
sing.
hold on, I wasn't.
I'm down, but
I'll sing this. I'll just embarrass myself live tonight, and maybe have you guys chime in. This might become an intro thing. Who knows in the future? But this is primarily for Chris and Carmine. If you like sea shanties, well, here you go. This is something for Heroscape. So I have this. It's titled The Heroscape, of course. So here we go. Count me down, Joe. Go ahead.
3,
You got this.
2, 1. The Heroscape.
There once was a game that we all played. The name of the game was Heroscape. Grenades blew up, the swords dipped down. Go, Drake Alexander, go. Soon may the Heroscape come to give us Dragons and Marro Drones. Maybe the game is done, but will zombies rise again? There once was a game that we all played. The name of the game was Heroscape. The sales blew up, retail went down. Oh no, where did our game go? Soon may the Heroscape come to give us Dragons and Marro Drones. Maybe the game is done, but will zombies rise again? Heroscapers took up the mantle with their own minds. Yes, they could handle building C3 waves. We lit a candle, but hope and Scape revival was low. Soon may the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we'll take our dice and roll. Then one day, hitting like a laser, Avalon Hill produced a trailer. Annihilation was very clever. Joe Crazy's mind was blown. Soon may the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we will take our dice and roll. With renewed hope, we joined the Discord for a new vision. We would listen to Patrick, Chris, and Craig on board. Lore and concept art in tow. Soon may the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we will take our dice and roll. Now Heroscape is back again to play all day with our good friends. Valhalla is where we now go to face the battle of all time. Soon may the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we will take our dice and roll. Soon will the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we will take our dice and roll. We will take our dice and roll.
That was awesome.
That was
Great
pretty good.
job. That was great.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Where is that Where's the platinum for that? Where is it?
I stumbled a couple times, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Lyrics, I mean, I might tweak those in the future, and if anybody out there listening, watching, if you want to send your own lyrics or your own segment, we can add on to it. Why not? I always love additional ideas, but as far as the lyrics that I just sang, I'll put them in the description below on YouTube, as well as if I can put them on the ToV Podcast audio like segment description below, I'll do that as well. But yeah, okay, give me a second to recover from that.
That was awesome, though. Like it was a sea shanty. It had the cadence. It had it had the verbiage. It was nice. Well done.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
I love the fact that the writing. Ryan did a fantastic job. Fantastic.
I'm no songwriter. I'm no singer, but you know, that was
both were good. Both were more than acceptable.
Much appreciated. Marion, thank you. Quicksilver, thanks so much for the words. Like I said, hopefully Chris listens to this sometimes and he just draws me out like a record.
I'm making a clip of that. I'm absolutely making a clip of that. I am make sure that goes out everywhere by the end of the week.
What needs to happen with that is it needs to be like remixed, like they do with like all the TikTok videos and stuff like that, and make it into
they have to use the song, the background song.
Because the whole time in my head I heard the little flute playing like doo, 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 doo.
Yeah.
Like as you were like I heard it in my head, so that was really good.
And he'll get some background music going again. But if I want to do something like that, I want to re-record it because I mean have the microphone and just isolate it to where it's isolated. So I might do that like in the next week or two, depending on the response I get. But
it's one of those things where it goes viral. You have no control over the remix. Like somebody else remixes for you. That's what I'm talking about. Like somebody takes that literal audio clip of you just singing right now and turns it into a song. Like a little kid talking about corn.
If someone wants to take the time and work to do that, by all means, go ahead. I'm not going to complain too much. But anyway, again, I want to give a shout out to Fast Billy 1 and N Carmine for just that inspiration and Fast Billy. If you want to corroborate in the future with more lyrics, if you ever watch this, by all means, appreciate the inspiration.
Toast to that, man. That was great.
Pretty good.
That was so great.
I have no beverage as a toast, but I will toast one.
Anyway, we might
one ghost beverage.
I might just end up like because I was well, just to let our audience know, when it comes to this following week, I'm going to be doing a live stream this Thursday night, giving all the updates on what's happening this week, because when it comes to this weekend and PulseCon, I want to focus primarily on that. I don't want to catch up on during the weekend on everything that's going to be happening this week as far as what they're going to be giving us on Discord. So we will be doing a live stream for whatever information is being gathered on Thursday night, 9:30, same time. And so and this weekend we're probably going to have some type of live streams. Definitely Sunday night. So I might just open singing a line or two of that. Who knows? That would be fun to do.
I'm going to make sure the whole song's done and ready to go for you just for play, so you don't have to sing it again.
Redo it. Yeah. No, I want to redo it because I stumbled a couple of times.
We'll speed it up. It's okay.
Anyway, my wife can attest. I was practicing that a little bit today. So, all right. How about we get into now? Last week,
a very
crazy.
busy week.
And if anybody's commenting through Facebook, because I know we got a couple of Facebook sides, I might not be able to read your comments. Here, hold on a second. Let me just find. Give me a second. So I can find this here. Okay. No. All right. So I'll just keep an eye on it. But no, appreciate that support. Anyway, okay. Let us go now to the craziness that started this week, and it has everything to do with feet, which is yeah.
Real quick, did we want to real fast go over, because Craig Van Ness actually answered some questions about Age of Annihilation before the feet came out. I don't know if you want to talk.
If you want to lead into that, that's fine. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of everything.
No, so that's the thing. This week, just to let everyone know who's listening, this week is different from every other week because we had was 5 days of slated reveals, one reveal per day, very specific, very semi-organized release schedule. There's a reason why this week is different. We'll actually talk about it too, nicely, I promise. But there was a certain reaction that caused us to get a mass download of information, and we'll talk about that. But it's actually pretty funny what happened. But yeah, so Craig Van Ness has a active Q&A thread on Heroscapers.com for anyone that does not know or has not had the chance to find that. You can go on Heroscapers.com and ask Craig Van Ness questions, which is crazy because he does answer them. Like, he's actually still answering them. He's been answering these questions since 2016. This thread has been active, and he'll answer every question, and it's just super cool. So people are now asking him stuff about Age of Annihilation. We got a couple of answers from him about that. Someone was asking about, will there be any changes to the genres in Heroscape 2.0? For example, the historical fantasy, sci-fi, horror, among others. One of my things about Heroscape was it brought every genre, and Craig Van Ness answers that Heroscape will continue to be a mix of everything. If all goes well, we will keep all our options on the table, including licensed product. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
I know what that means.
What licensed
Power
product
Rangers and Transformers.
Yeah, Marvel.
Let's go. More Marvel. Marvel Wave 2. Let's go.
They owe us an expansion. They showed us the models, those mock-ups of those models.
Yeah.
And never got the set, so that's still.
We're gonna need new ones.
Marvel
We
would
need
be
Robert
harder
Downey
nowadays,
Jr.'s
though.
Iron Man.
Right.
Like Marvel, a lot of the series though that Hasbro already owns, or like some of the rights, like those would be easy to transfer over. But I feel like Marvel would just be harder to do now, just with all the Disney red tape around it and everything. I just think it would be harder.
Well, there's actually probably a legal question to that.
Mhm.
Because the Marvel Miniatures comic book license is currently held by Asmodee Games, who's making Marvel Crisis Protocol under their Atomic Mass Games label.
Okay.
And there's a massive lawsuit between Fantasy Flight Games, which is now part of Asmodee, and Hasbro over what a board game is. Because there's a conflict in miniatures versus board games, and that whole lawsuit was settled out of court in an undisclosed settlement that still allowed Fantasy Flight to make a Star Wars board game, even though they had a license to miniatures games, and presumably Marvel's in the Star Wars Disney mothership thing.
Wow.
So, it's a messy legal case.
For
So we may not be able to. Well, you could get a Marvel Cinematic Universe license because Atomic Mass Games I think has the comic book license. But yes.
We gotta get. What is it? Chris Hemsworth as a miniature, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, what does this have? Leading to the feet. What does this have to do with the feet again? Or did I miss that?
No. So this was before the
separate
feet.
information.
Okay,
They were grabbing questions from Craig Van Ness related to Age of Annihilation, and it was this week. It was this Sunday.
Okay.
So they were not this Sunday, last Sunday.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. There's a whole list of stuff that I'm following of all the updates. So it was just the Craig Van Ness answers that was important to put out there because we do have a lot of fear out there. People are saying that new Heroscape isn't going to stay true to the old Heroscape, and we've had discussions before. But Craig Van Ness himself has said that genres aren't changing. We're going to get our history.
I don't know how you can say that when Craig Van Ness is at the helm.
Yeah, I know. What is wrong with people? Why?
I mean, well, not what's wrong with people, but it's just like
they're afraid.
There's nothing more they could do to convince you that
and have the original creator.
They're trying to respect the source material as much as possible, and if that just can't understand,
like he's saying yes to everything that we've seen. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he's approving everything that we've seen.
Like we doubt this. We doubt this. We just we don't believe it. We don't believe it at all. No, it's going to be terrible. It's like
that was probably one of the most singular just pieces of information by itself that gave me confidence in Heroscape coming back. I mean, maybe there's others that, lessen my confidence or gave you more confidence, but that one piece of information that Craig Van Ness is pretty much at the helm of this project and it's coming back, that I was on board from like the time that I heard
very
that,
beginning.
For
yeah,
sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And a few more things. I know a lot of people have asked this. They're asking, will we have like a painting guide or some sort of like visual to see what these characters should look like? Craig Van Ness says the new cards will have a color image of the figure.
Cool.
So
that's huge.
It's a big answer to a lot of those fears. So if you were wondering what do I do? Now here's like personal opinion here. But like even though there will be a color guide, I think it would be kind of cool to see, get a little creative, right? Because these are going to be your characters now. You can you can express yourself through these characters. You might want to add some symbols or something, or paint little extra details here and there. Go out, it's going to be fun to see. I'm actually going to be interested in seeing going to like ScapeCon or something, right? And then playing against somebody. They have the same figures as me, but they look different. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be like kind of like, oh hey, I see what you did with the hammer there.
Yeah.
That's just me though. But if you want a guide,
sure.
we will have one. So no worries there.
good.
And I think the other stuff was kind of just like not really AOA related, but they did say something about new terrain pieces, but no new terrain shapes, just new terrain pieces for the house.
Okay.
So that was the big stuff. I thought that was something I wanted to put out there, make sure everyone knew about it.
That kind of makes sense because even with the hex with the sevens, the singles, the 24s, there's not gonna be like a 4-piece or a 5-piece.
Yeah, they're not changing that. They're just
it's the same. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go.
And that's all
go with what works.
Yeah.
And later if you want to.
And that's the CVN updates. That's all the answers you got.
Nice. I like that. CVN corner.
CVN update.
The CVN corner, yeah. Yeah. And then now we can talk about feet.
Yeah, it's fine.
What everyone's been waiting for.
Everyone's been waiting.
No, and I just want to give a quick shout out to the chat. Undamped is just saying joining late because I was buying you Scape. That's no problem. Great excuse. Nothing better than cracking open a hard Mountain Dew, booting up Man 23, and listening to the ToV podcast. Absolutely. Nice. And all you missed Undamped was my sea shanty, but you could probably get that just on replay sometime. If
check out Ryan's SoundCloud later this week. It'll be on there.
He's launching the single.
He's launching his single.
It's gonna be fire.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So moving on. And getting started, actually. Moving on and getting started. Okay, Intergalactic Patrick. You shrewd devil, you. You just dropped this. Come. What is this, Monday? Yeah, it was Monday morning.
Yep.
Yeah, Monday last week. Marro feet. You're welcome. And it's red. So.
Yeah.
So I imagine these Marro feet. Are they the same Marro feet as the Marro pirate, or is this Utkar
It's
Marro?
a matchup. It's a matchup. If you look at those sketches that we've been getting, So this is one thing that's interesting about these feet, right? Because we're going to be talking about feet a lot today. So.
Yep.
Well,
The interesting thing about these feet is that they actually are like one-on-one matchups with drawings from these concept boards.
Okay.
And so, someone asked in Carmine, they're like, wait, why are they the same? It's like, he said they're like, almost as if they were finished concepts. Like he was trying to be,
actually,
joking, but, like, that's the thing.
Now that I noticed, did you notice the background?
Yep.
This is part of a, this is part of a, like a sales picture or a presentation picture, because it's like this has been inserted digitally the miniature, and this background is just the setup. So there's probably like announcements and whatever the name is, kind of what we got from the one miniature like a week or two ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
the
Deathforge Mandukar.
Yeah. He said they're working on assets to share on October 1st on the HasLab page. So that file of the Hellforge Manticore, that's going to be like, the promotion file for these miniatures. And what we were seeing are works in progress. But yeah, the background is going to be the same for all of them, I think. Or at least similar. So we're getting these files from digital files they've prepared for Saturday.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, for
Saturday,
sure.
yeah.
That makes sense. Now, if one pair of feet wasn't good enough, for us, I mean, it had just everybody talking. Well, and Carmine decided, because apparently a bee was put in his bonnet over the course of the beginning of last week, where someone said that they must be running out of ideas. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, they're running out of ideas, so they don't have as much stuff to show, and I think that kind of ticked him off a bit.
Yeah,
and now it gives us now 3 times more work tonight to do. That's a lot. Whoever gave that comment.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like he posted the feet pick joke in response to the feet pick joke, and then someone posted those feet pick on Facebook, and then someone replied to that with saying, "Oh, they don't have ideas anymore. That's why they're doing this." And he's like, "All right,
okay, there you go."
Yeah, and so the thing is, it was just such a funny like domino effect, I guess you could say. You're experiencing the domino effect in real time when, I think it was one Discord user made a foot pick joke. We got feet picks. We got more feet picks. Facebook made fun of the feet picks, and then we just got exploded with all this information.
Yeah.
In reply to that.
So yeah, we got more feet picks in here. Hold on one second. Undamped. I just want to address the comment again. Undamped said, I already been thinking about paint schemes for characters, thinking bronze for Lich Lord's robotic spider legs, and purple, yellow, silver scheme, similar to Tali from Mass Effect. Still need to play that game. For Pirate Queen Bonnie.
Nice.
Yep. Well, it's good. It's good you're making plans. It is good you're making plans. Okay, let's get to these next. Okay, so and Carmine, not wanting to be outdone, he basically does 3 of these things. And it says, if we're going to rock a boat this early in a week, might as well answer the question with more Dawn Raider feet. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, let's start from the top here. All right, let me get to purple. So let me get to this one. Open this up. Purple feet. These are boots. These are definitely boots.
I think the guess is that's Pirate Queen Bonnie's feet.
Okay.
Stance.
Yeah, the positioning, like on her back foot, specifically.
Yep, similar to the figure. So, and they're saying that means that Einar's back, because the purple is definitely, Majesty, His Majesty, and his regalia.
Probably be the guest there.
So, yep.
Okay, and now moving on to, what is it? The yellow feet? I think it's the yellow feet. Here.
The yellow feet.
More boots, and yeah, this looks like the pants look kind of like ruffled a little bit. So is this a shorter miniature?
Yeah, the dwarf that was shown at Gen Con.
Okay.
Is the guess.
That makes sense.
Because that would be Aquila also.
Like the yellow. Okay.
Aquila. Yellow.
Now, when it comes to painting schemes, if this is the color that these miniatures are going to be, is it a bit too strong for a color? Like, you'd really have to paint good if you want to get good detail, I mean, Jason, does it bother you at all for these types of bold color schemes for painting? I mean, if painting over, if the color's too strong, would painting over something still cause that color to shine through a little bit in effect?
As long as you're using a proper primer base, so like the spray primers used for miniatures will cover up whatever color the base miniature is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're doing that to show like the generals, like whatever generals they were summoned by and stuff like that.
I get it. I was just making sure that it wasn't gonna like stifle painting, at all.
Oh yeah.
We just do our painting right. All right, and then the blue. Zoom this in.
Jandar's back.
These look like.
Oh, I mean, we knew that because of the symbol last week,
but yeah. There's more confirmation. I just can't wait to see the full picture of these things. I really can't wait.
Yeah.
And the names and stuff. Which hopefully, like you said, this weekend, we'll see. We will see. All right.
That picture was cool because it gave, and the Death Forge. Because it gave you the full color of what it's going to look like. And it's like, that's not bad. Like, if I didn't paint them right away, or God forbid I never painted them, which I don't see that happening. I'm going to be them painted, but they look cool in their color of their general. You can easily tell them out. And the detail in the figure is still super, it's there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't want to paint them, you don't necessarily have to, because there's people that play with the Arena of the Planeswalker, pieces that are not painted. They're all monotone colors like that. So
and those
seeing
sculpts are
still
very
got
different.
me hyped. Yeah,
those sculpts are more like what we have now for Heroscape. What we're getting now is way more detailed than those sculpts.
Yep, for sure.
And then next, because we still have more feet. There we go. Okay, and Carmine again. I guess that if that is the theme for the day, you will need this one too for your collection, based on what someone was saying here. And so we have these like grayish bluish type ones. So Vidar, possibly.
Vidar's back. Yeah.
And I say Vidar,
which we knew already from Major Q10, his return.
Here's a...
Right, and a symbol. They updated the symbol.
I like it. Okay, we're getting robot now. Is this a Soulborg, or is this already a miniature that we've already seen? Do we know?
So the Jandar feet pick. This sounds so weird. No one clip that. The Jandar feet pick and the Vidar feet pick. Those two.
We're getting a little foot fetish here.
Those two were corresponding to the new images that we got that same day. Those two new pirates, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, if you look at them closely, they're standing in the same stance. They have the same shoes and everything. So when we show the art off, you'll see the similarities.
Okay, and
yeah.
But wait, there's one more.
Wait,
as far as I know, I mean, I was trying to pull everything off this week, so if I missed something, please tell me and then forward me, but I'm pretty sure I got everything. I hope. And so we got, Volarak, how do you say it? Volarak?
Volarak, yeah.
Volarak feet are the best of all feet. I would be inclined to agree, Chris, if the glare of the fluorescent wasn't burning my eyes. But yes, I think and this is just this is kind of bare feet. This is actually very pixelated. I don't know why this download was a pixelated one, but
good on stream.
Yeah, it's a very small file, I think.
Yeah, I think this one was downloaded.
He was clipping screenshots
for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is someone's natural feet. There are no boots there.
Right.
So yeah, like I said,
which we know what model that is too.
Yeah, we do know
what
model
it
is.
Which one? Oh, is it one that we see?
It's a this week one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the this week.
So how about we just get into that then? Okay, let's move in.
Let's get to it.
All right. So now I know Joe wants to do this first, and in screenshotting this, I had to take 2 pictures because you can't get the whole thing. So let me bring up the first part of it. And Joe, you just read through it.
Yep.
And
I'm ready.
And I will go along with you. So just hold on one moment.
You got a shanty and an
you get this ones too. Yeah.
This is a good fight.
All right, Designer's Notes day 41, right? Okay, here you go, man. Here you go. It's your time to shine.
All right. Day 41. In honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day, no, you asked for this. I'm saying this. You asked for this. Well, I asked for this, but doesn't matter. Arrgh, ahoy, me hearties! Avast, ye hands, heave ho and listen well. These tales I bring upon thee. For even when thin the tar of crews, such as that old salt yonder, there may be sea dogs of the ocean vast, sailing man-o'-war, blazing with iron weapons. We even a son of a biscuit eater would stand up on a take our notice. Killian Vane the Third has much more than grog running through his fabled family's veins. Built like the stiff decking of the finest galleon in the fleet, that old Charles himself handles. That blunderbuss he carries like a chase gun, and his tongue like the sirens of David Jones' Locker. He is bringing a spring upon your enemies, and looking the landlubbers crossing swords with death himself. Till there, striking the colors, not to be outdone in the challenge of skill or wit, Admiral EJ-1M be the most ship-shape captains amongst the Dawn Raider syndicate he be, savvy as sea snake and the reflexes to arm wrestling octopus. No surprise he finds himself the head privateer amongst Vidar's selected, when weighing anchor and hoisting the mizzen. Deemed scurvy dogs may find themselves feeding the fishes when the Admiral opens up like a full broadside with his near arsenal of firearms. Nothing, and I mean nothing, escapes Admiral EJ-1M's view. Like your best mate atop the crow's nest, he sees it all and makes damn well sure those dead men tell no tales. Guess there is your proof that I write these designer notes the day of their release. That was so much fun to read!
Arr, yeah.
Arr.
Well
Yeah,
done.
that was. I thought that was the funniest thing because I was joking, but I pinged him and I said, "Can you talk like a pirate for International Talk Like a Pirate Day?" And he actually
so this
did
is
it.
your fault.
This is my fault. He says we asked for it. No, I pinged him and then he said, Majora's Incarnation picked today's drop and here be pirates. So.
Well done, Jeremy. Well done.
I was like, I will not thank you.
And there is Killian Vane the Third, right there.
AKA Blue Feet.
I like that. I like that pop gun. That it's got. I love the coned.
The blunderbuss.
Yeah, it's, along with this is something from like Final Fantasy, like Cloud's weapon. This type of sword almost.
This is a cleaver, yeah.
Yeah.
The old cleaver.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see how the shoes. Yeah, I can see how the shoes match the feet on one of the. Yep. I can see that now. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cool that he's Jandar though.
Yep.
Well, I mean he's in the Dawn Raider Syndicate, so technically not, I guess, but
he was summoned by Jandar.
He was
from yeah. So remember that the symbols that on the cards are the people that summoned them. But loyalties aside, I mean, in the lore they could be doing anything else, but whoever brought them in is what their cards are marked by. So. But I'm really excited for this because it's our third captain that we know confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking about you want to check out. That's going to be the major dynamic for the Dawn Raider Syndicate is the relationships between the captains and the crew, and like each each captain and each crew is gonna operate differently. So I was thinking about this, right? You know, and obviously this is gonna be for later releases as well. There are multiple crews and multiple captains. Like, are we basically gonna be able to build our own pirate group basically every play and change it up based on, you know, different mechanics that we
I'm
need?
pretty sure that's
See.
what they want.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, because this captain has this effect, and then this squad has this
crew,
effect,
yeah.
so
And
you
they
can mix
bond.
and match effects.
Yep.
Still
That's-
get bonuses and still get synergies, but you're using
You can
different.
choose. You can
captains.
choose your synergies based on what you need. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Because there's
That's
a lot
crazy.
of crews, and I'm like, I wonder. You just decide this crew works for this occasion. This
Yeah.
anti-stinger crew for this occasion.
Mhm.
You know.
I like the title of the photo, doubling this week's booty.
Yep.
Yep. And we have Undamp Pick asking a question. If Jandar is recruiting pirates, has he gone away from goody-good characters, or is Killian similar to Robin Hood, stealing from the rich to give to the poor? That'd be interesting to know what his background is.
Depends on what the bio is. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, he looks like somebody that could potentially be, let's say, from example, Civil War, and then just turned pirate.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So,
I know.
has anyone done their
historically-
research?
Historically, he's supposed to be the son of Vane. Charles Vane, I think, is the pirate name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah, like he's the third. Yeah, in lineage.
They mentioned something about a Charles in the in what I just read.
Yeah, Charles Vane, pirate, 1680 to 1721. English pirate who operated the Bahamas during the age of the Golden Age of Pirates, or end of the Golden Age of Piracy. Yeah,
Oh,
so he's
okay.
supposed to be related to Charles Vane.
Oh, okay.
Hmm
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so all the human pirates have a connection to a historical pirate in Earth's history, which is really
Oh,
dope.
wonderful.
Or is a historical pirate.
There you go, historical character, people.
Yep.
I don't know what else more you could ask for, except maybe a four-armed gun-tootin' Admiral EJ-1M. How about that, huh? How about them apples?
I thought a Marro
Ooh,
pirate
sick.
was so super cool. This is like
A
just
Soul pirate.
amazing.
So is this going to be 4 times attack?
Most likely.
If it
I hope
isn't,
so.
I'll be
Like,
disappointed.
attack or something like that.
I
or
hope
2
so.
or something.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because 4 times attack, please. Yes, that would be so good.
A new
Attack
type of
times 4.
Quakelicks gun.
Yeah,
I don't
we
even care if you
definitely
only
need
could do
that.
it like once per game or something. Just as long as you can do it once, I'm quite fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, how is he going to reload all 4 guns at the same time?
Exactly.
He's a Soulborg. You'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
robotically.
Yeah, he'll just
Yeah.
like
Well,
no. You know what?
I mean,
you know what?
those are
That's what that
separate
chest
guns, though.
implant is for. It opens
Yeah.
up. He puts the guns in. he pulls them
Another
out,
4
like-
arms come out.
That
Yeah,
would
he
be
just
so
he just switches out the
fun to
guns
see.
every time.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be like the
know.
offensive option. Like if you want
Possibly.
to be an offensive captain and just do damage, like this is the guy. He doesn't look like he has much synergies other than like blasting people's faces off. Whereas like the
Anyway.
Widow and like Pirate Queen Bonnie had like more sneaky, like you can move me or whatever. But he
Right.
seems like a
He
maximum.
is, they mentioned
output.
him as a captain, so he'll have some sort of bonding, but we don't know
Yeah.
exactly what his connection will be for the crew. Like
Yeah.
whatever.
Can we
give him.
assume every unique hero for the Dawn Raiders is a captain?
I think the Marro Pirate's the only one that was specifically mentioned not
Hmm,
as a captain, but the
Okay.
others are.
Okay.
Interesting.
Get it?
Arg?
Arg.
Arg. Arg.
I didn't mean to sneak that in there, did I?
Oh, and the title for this photograph, because there are titles, so I'm going to try and read them. Daring you to challenge him to a duel, and that actually kind of makes me indicate to where this, whatever the option is for firing these guns at once, like 4 times option, it probably only is a one-time thing, and then he might have a melee
Right.
attack or something. But we will see. It's gonna, like Joe says, show us the cards. Show us the
Yep.
cards.
Hashtag show me the cards.
Show me the map, but show me the cards too. Okay. Let us
Quick
move on
question.
because we
Pick
have
a side, Ryan.
this.
One quick question. Do
Yes,
we
Jason.
know that he's a Soulborg, or are we just assuming that because he's a robot for Vidar?
I think that's the assumption right now until they
Okay.
show us cards, because because Vidar and then like Dawn Raider is their connection to classic Heroscape right now, because all the other factions that we have are their new designs, but Dawn Raider is the closest, like, because we got the Marro in it, we got the humans in it, and stuff like that. So I think they're trying to keep the Dawn Raiders closer to the classic themes. So I think that's why everyone's like Soulborg. But you know, they could always introduce a new group, a new person, because they got a lot to. They're introducing a lot of new stuff to us too. So
I think as though it's so Soulborg adjacent that it can't be anything else. Because then it's why bring up another race of humanoid robots and they're not Soulborgs? I think that, like Jeremy said, it's the assumption, but I just don't see
how it feels like it's pushing itself towards that direction. But there's always open-ended. You know,
if it's not the case, they better get Soulborgs in sometime. Because they do.
I mean,
they've already shown
a Deathwalker.
We need another Deathwalker.
Oh heck yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Deathwalker 10K.
And then the numerical letter like designation just gives me like Soulborg vibes also.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. EJIM.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like what that stood for. Yeah. They'll tell us. But
can we just call him Admiral Jim?
Admiral Jim. Yeah.
He's Jim.
Admiral Jim. I'm just gonna call you Jim.
Yep.
And I think the last thing to mention before we move on from that day, real quick, since we got green feet for Volorak, that was our official announcement that Volorak is the 9th Valkyrie General to be revealed in Heroscape.
Yes.
So we got two new fresh members to the party with the classic heroes. So.
And this is one thing that I don't have because I couldn't find like didn't have time to find a download. But I know Sir Heroscape in one of his latest videos, he does show a picture of a hex-shaped insignia of what looks like another Valkyrie General that hasn't been seen or shown, that I think got dropped by Carmine or somebody. But I couldn't find the source from that, so I don't know about it. But
I can send it to you real quick.
You wanna find Sir Heroscape, or we can show it later if you want to send it to me, Jeremy. That's fine.
Yeah, I got
Are you trying to say he has exclusive content? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, he just found something that I couldn't find. I think it's on the chat somewhere.
He's getting secret backhanded content.
Hang on.
Oh, don't make me jealous, because all right, so moving on, because this is a lot of stuff to go through, so let's keep on going. All right, let me get this up here.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, that's hot.
Oh wow.
All right, here, hold on a second. Okay, you people
Looks
just
like a.
I gotta.
Oh, you have to put it like we can't just talk about it and not like.
Oh, I know.
Everybody not see it.
You want
We're just over here talking about it like, oh, this looks awesome.
I have to download it, and yeah. Thanks for being subtle, guys. Hold on a second.
I mean,
sorry.
You see something like that, and you go, okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to find a way to download the thing, and I'm not finding it, and I'm trying to keep this darn podcast going at the same time as trying to download something.
Do you not just left-click on it and then right-click Save Image?
Yes, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Hold on a second. Okay, just my computer's gonna do strange things.
My favorite way.
Wait, when you save this, does it say anything? Oh no, it doesn't.
Hold on. Just I'm gonna find. Now I gotta
find
the right
image
file.
1076. As we all know, 1076 is the code name for.
Now we're getting deep state stuff. Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what is IMG in capital letters? Is this the name of the faction?
This podcast is going downhill really fast. While I look at this thing. Hold on. Where is it?
Utter chaos coming soon.
Yeah. There you go.
We're just honoring Valkyrie.
That's a podcast.
Exactly.
Here, I'll find
Hashtag
it.
bring Valkyrie back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to find. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, I just posted in here. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Hold on. Now I gotta get this back here. You know, I have a system, and the system got broken down. Thank you so much, Jeremy. No, I love you.
I'm an agent of chaos.
All right, so I'm gonna read this thing that I posted up first. All right, so designer's notes, day 42. We can no longer live as rats. We know too much. And when you know too much, yes, you cannot keep on going on as a rat. Beyond fearless to the point of zealotry, desperate to survive, and standing stone-faced against death itself, the Clockwork Combine holds within its ranks some of the most courageous individuals the galaxy has ever known. One such champion of justice is the fabled Wing Commander Tuck Harrigan, a daredevil acrobat in warfare. Tuck is everywhere on the battlefield at once. It makes sense. Whether he is nosediving directly into where the fighting is most fierce or weaving around the vicious strikes of his pitifully slow and lethargic enemy combatants, Tuck exemplifies the sheer willpower, ingenuity, and expert training that has proven to be the winning recipe for the Clockwork Combine's continued success in battle. Chris, this is too long. To further recognize and grant context to the Combine's skills at warfare, there are those siegecraft specialists among the Vorid that can make any defensive line appear worthless. A rare breed indeed, even among the kin. The Vorid Barrel Breakers are an elite team of sappers. It'll make sense. Capable of moving silently under the enemy lines, appearing without warning or fanfare, and lying waste to their opponents with massive implements of their art of war. On Valhalla, the unpredictable tactics of the Clockwork Combine are instrumental in upsetting the perfectly laid plans of their adversaries, and the Vorid Burrow Breakers prove their mettle every time they are deployed underneath the feet of unsuspecting enemies. Ooh, tactically that sounds fun. Now, you have seen my favorite character. Who doesn't want to play a maniac, murderous, lunatic, sugar glider, rocketeer, gunslinger with a death wish? Honestly, who wouldn't? Here it is. Wing Commander Tuck Harrigan. I love the name Tuck Harrigan. That's just, yeah. And this is just basically our version of Rocket Raccoon here. And it's probably even more awesome. Yeah, I like this thing. This guy, so
like he literally has a whole flight suit.
He's got a jetpack. He's got a freaking jetpack with a gun, and he's aiming the gun right at your face in that concept art. I love it. It's like yeah, I do 007 too. BRTCH.
That's sick.
Yeah, and this is the owner of the lime green feet, by the way. Keeping track of the last remaining foot pick.
Yeah,
but seriously, Chris, you write down a mouthful of stuff. My goodness.
Well, it's two reveals in one.
I know.
So it's like
I
two
know.
whole. Hey, I'm as a lore guy, I'm eating this Volarak. It's our Volarak.
Oh yeah, this is his feet, isn't it? That's what we saw, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I see it. I can see that. For certain.
Heck yeah. And so the word sapper, apparently that's a combat engineer. That's a soldier who is like trained to breach fortifications and build bridges and break down bridges and things like that. Like that's their sole job, is to go there and build things in the middle of war. So the Burrow Breaker is gonna I wonder if that's gonna be like anti-castle.
Oh, and it even says on this one on the headline for this photo, or or the description, has the best feet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, the Burrow Breakers, let me pop these guys up real quick. Furry little woodland creatures. I just have a thing for them. Undamped is saying the Clockwork Combine on the chat here has Clockwork Combine has my favorite new faction, and somehow I get even more excited with each reveal. Yeah, they're just
super cool.
And can you imagine what these guys, what their stat cards you're going to be able to do with them? Burrow underground. How is that going to work, I wonder? But
break down the roads so no one gets the speed bonus anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
You just break the road up.
Now, if they burrow underground, could they burrow under lava? Tactically, if there's a lava stream and no one can cross it, but these guys can burrow underground and get to the other side?
I'm not sure about that. I'm sure there might be some kind of specific rule
for sure.
Or how they're going to phrase things. Probably maybe same level space, kind of like they do for Contourna.
The Earth Elemental too, Barrows. So like we could
Oh, okay.
use that as a basis.
Yeah, no, for
Underground
sure.
movement.
Yep, it's literally this. I'm getting the same vibe. Like it's literally underground movement
Yeah.
where you could just pop up, and I don't think it has to
like
be
flying.
as long as
on
it's
the
on
ground.
an even
Yep.
level space, and it's like just
And break things.
like terrain.
Okay,
You can go.
for sure.
So it's gonna be cool.
You know,
Actually,
It
and
said it's too
wait.
OP for tournaments, so I wonder if that actually like are we gonna have an issue with it?
oh yeah, 2 OP for tournament. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Well, no, please, because you know, I can imagine painting these things actually myself and just painting the drill bits and maybe having like, you know, first, you know, you paint it with like whatever like gray, or whatever you want the color drill bit to be, but then you have like maybe flecks of like gold or blood on them, you know, like if they're burrowing into somebody or attacking somebody with the thing. Yeah,
It's gonna look like the Big Daddy from Bioshock, just
yeah.
like just all destroyed and like wrecked and
only
bloody. Yeah.
only little furry woodland creatures, you know, of death.
Oh god.
Of death.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
it's
gameplay
lovely.
mechanic trick is how do you make burrow different than flying?
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
otherwise, if they can just disappear underground and come up somewhere else, it's the same thing as flying from gameplay's perspective. Unless somehow by coming up out of the ground that's an attack. Like, what if you
It
pop
might
up
be
on the
have to be
ground and
engaged.
attacks everyone around
Yeah.
them,
Well,
Yeah.
or
I think
or if
that
you really want to mess with people, they come out of the ground under a figure and it moves that figure to space or something.
yes.
Oh.
But I imagine
can-
though,
Yeah.
maybe there's like they can't go very high. Like say if they're facing like a wall of like a 10 hex space up type wall, they could burrow into it. But unlike like with flying, you could fly up to that 10 high elevation and stay up there. But maybe they don't have the advantage of climbing up like that. Maybe it's just from one spot to another on level ground. Maybe.
Yeah.
You can't go like more than 2 levels up where you're currently at or something.
Yeah, maybe possibly
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, just brainstorming about it, but yeah, that might be a possible thing.
Right.
Discussing game mechanics, you know. So
Yeah, just like somebody already said, like think of it in combination with another attack, like surprise attack. Like you can't use this unless you burrowed first, but if you pop up adjacent to an enemy figure, you get +2 to your attack or something like that. That's what I was thinking.
I like that.
Like,
Yeah.
It gives them a buff or it gives them something special because they popped up surprise, like out of the ground, like
Yep.
they got little
or
beady
like
eyes.
some,
These guys.
some arena trap or something like Jason was saying, or like you pop up but it holds that character there for a turn or something. That I just can't wait for the mechanics, but it's cool to like speculate on what they can be because this is such a differently dynamic character than what we've seen, you know, before.
Right.
Yeah. Start unengaged and must end its turn, you know, engaged.
Yep, in order to use attack or in order to use ability. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's like Christmas. I can't wait a week. I really can't wait a week to see these stats. And yeah, see, and I noticed like the difference in the eyes, like Tuck, you know, he's got like real emotion in his eyes, and then you know these burrowers, their looks are just beady, you know, beady and
He looks like he's just got to do his job.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it looks like he's got a story to tell, you know, Tuck does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
think
I like-
they was it on no. Oh yeah, same day they also dropped that Revna's plastic colors orange. So that means that the Hellforge Manticore is part of Revna's army.
Oh yeah. There you go.
So we're keeping track of allegiances and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Clockwork Combine is lime green, Volorok, and then one of the Ironclads. We don't know if they're all part of it, but one of the Ironclads is Revna's. So
And if you think we're done, we ain't even got started yet.
no.
So, moving on.
I think
all
we're on
right.
day 3.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'll do this next read. I'll take one for the team. I sung a sea shanty. How hard can this be? All right. Here we go. All right. Designer's notes, day 43. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. All right. And it was in that moment of distress and confusion that the whip of terror laid its most nicely calculated lash about his hearts, in quotations. The philosophies of the Dryan life-born Magi teach the values of both life and death as equals in a balanced universe. However, each Dryan life-born, bless you, Magi utilizes those forces of nature in different methods. Their order's basic principle of neutral morality in a galaxy of good versus evil means that members of the Dryan life-born order have been drawn to Valhalla by Valkyrie on both sides of the war. Some, like Rakshot, Desecrator of Death, delight in their powerful new roles as masters of Valhalla's battlefields. Rakshot finds no shortage of resources in this new position, pulling from the earth the raw energies of the recently deceased, consuming their decaying corpse. Oh my goodness, this is nasty. Consuming their decaying corpse and focusing that power into a raging turret of fury and hate. Rakshot, Desecrator of Death, cares little for the peace eternal sleep allows. Oh my gosh. Only that it serves him and Master Utgar, however you call him. Always beside Rakshot, in the carnage of combat, is the manifestation of pure pain and anguish that is Vrono Brambletuff. Its massive body riddled with sharp thorns, lashing out any who dare approach. Like a hurricane, here I am, rockin'... Okay, I'm sorry. Like a hurricane of razors, Varno snarls in defiance to anyone foolish enough to question Utgar's dominion over Valhalla. We got a little bit of pictures here, but let me bring up this here. First, let's get this very twisted version of what evil Groot would be like. Rakshot, Desecrator of Death, and yeah, I mean, I think we saw this miniature, a variation of this miniature, early on, like in
Gen Con.
Yeah,
it was
that first few days of Gen Con,
Gen
right?
Con prototype.
And I liked that from the beginning. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm certainly a fan.
I like how they add mushrooms on Rakshot's shoulders, and it's a really telling concept because and this is just for general speaking of the subject. But like if anyone's ever played Dungeons and Dragons or any concept like that in the tabletop RPGs, you know, you have your druids, and the druids are focused on nature magic and things like that. But there's this one type of druid called the Circle of Spores. It's a druid that focuses on mushroom related spells and how to use spores and like the role of decay, the role of rot, the role of things like that in nature, because that's the thing, right? It's a cycle, life and death and everything like that, and that's what the Dryan Lifeborn Order is focusing on, is this cycle, this ecological cycle of nature. But Rakshot he's rot and decay, whereas the other ones we've seen are like different aspects of nature and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool that they're hitting all the points of the nature cycle with these characters. And of course Utgar gets the mushroom guy because, you know, of course he wants to spread that rot and decay everywhere. But
it's death. You know. It's death, man. And like the title of this one, and did I read the titles of the ones before? Oh yeah, we did. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the title of this one is, and I think this is actually, it says, "This is why you go into the woods at night, people." I think actually Chris meant to say, "This is why you do not go in the woods at night, people." Either way probably works.
I'm looking at his Gen Con model now, and I never noticed it before, but yeah, he does have those mushrooms on the model.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
It wasn't something that was like, let's say, cut at the design point where we can't fit it on the model or anything like that. So that is there, and that's
mushrooms.
Give
it
a
Yeah.
personality.
Good color.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
I just the name just itself gets me. The Desecrator of Death. Like that just
You
puts a
haven't got
picture,
any
a
more
vivid
idea.
picture in your head. Like Desecrator of Death is already bad, but to desecrate the death, that you're pretty DA if you're desecrating death. So
It's like I feel like there's gonna be some zombie-like mechanic where if you kill someone on the battlefield, right? If you remove a player's opponent or an opponent's figure off the field, instead of removing that figure on the field, you put it on Rakshot's card, and then that's gonna give him a boost or something. And so he just gets stronger and stronger based on what's being destroyed.
feeding
on the
off
field.
of their
feeding off of their death,
cadaver.
yeah, being the desecrator because he's not even letting them rest. He's like getting power from their death.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question about movement capabilities because I'm just thinking. I mean, it's an awesome how it's kind of rooted into the ground here, but does that mean that it'd probably be kind of slower movement, like less movement?
Might be the balance. Give it slow movement, but like
super
really
strong,
high reach or something.
big tanky. I could see a reach too, or something like that, just with a vine leech or vine reach, where he doesn't have to be necessarily adjacent to somebody to attack them, or something like that. But
all these roots coming out of the ground grab.
Yeah,
because it's like it's half tree, half like because it's got antlers. Those are antlers on the top of its head. So is that just headgear for its real face? Like you can't see his real face underneath.
If you look at the miniature, it's like combined.
Yeah.
Like it's both the wood part and the bone part are like fused.
So it's not its real face then. This just basically was thinking. I decided to stick a bone head of an antler.
Yeah, if you
deer creature one day.
Other of the Lifeborn have that kind of like antler shaped or like just broader hammerhead
based on
type
their
head.
magic too.
Their headdress. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Their
this is
magic
just a
is
decrepit
influencing
like
their shapes and forms.
old one.
Yeah.
I really like to see what's underneath the skull though. If it's just like a shrunken like baby head or something, I don't know.
Shrunken baby head.
That would be freaky. I don't know, I'm just thinking something from a horror film,
This thing needs to be the star of a horror film.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely Blair Witch Project. Right
Evil
there.
Dead 4. Let's go.
Yeah.
The trees rise.
Yes. Time to. Yeah. Well, you know what the tree's doing. Evil Dead. So.
Before you had death coming after you. Now you have the desecrator of death, meaning this
You don't even
is.
get to die.
Yeah. Death runs. Even death runs away from this thing.
You're a mushroom now.
Oh, very nice.
It's interesting to note the differences between the concept art and the actual miniature.
Yeah.
Like the miniature has a lot less pointy things to it. Like the antlers, which had a little pointy things in the concept art, are a little more rounded off. And same with some of the other aspects of the details. It's kind of interesting. The pose is a little bit different too.
Let me see.
Yeah, the final
sure.
form is a little bit changed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Again, these are
You
just
kind of get
concept
an idea
art.
of what are some of the things that are probably giving the miniature production trouble. And that's probably why it looks different in the final miniature.
Sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Sure. Yeah. I see that there's some extra mushrooms that are on his arm in the concept art that just aren't there on the model. And like I said, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can't do a 1-to-1, but it's still way more detailed than I could ever imagine.
Right.
It still gets that same vibe.
That's the I was gonna say. Gives like a almost like a not a cartoony, but like a miniatures vibe more towards the vibe of actual Heroscape than like a lot of these concept arts have given. Because even if you look at the Death Forge, it's a lot of more rounded edges too, like the actual sculpt, giving it more like of a classic Heroscape feel. So that's the feeling I got from seeing that full like sculpt of it. I'm like, okay. And even the Lich Lord, like it wasn't as super detailed, nor like probably can't it be, but it wasn't as super detailed as the concept art, which I think was like troubling a lot of people. Was like, these concept art are so like in depth and stuff, but that's the concept art. Like you can't bring 100% of that to the mini, and like that's what I think. Like that gave me not some kind of hope, but like these aren't as super intricately detailed as the concept arts, because like how can you be? Sure. And secondly, like it's good, like because it has the more, like somebody mentioned in the past, like Saturday morning cartoony vibe with the the more rounded edges and the not as much detail, which is thank you for bringing that up, Jason, because I did just pull up like the sculpt, and like I like that. It's like almost like comforting to me, like okay, like that's cool, like that still fits on the Heroscape table.
For sure.
Not to bring up that whole discussion again.
And I can't. I'm not going to search for that image. So let's move on. But yes, good thoughts. Very good thoughts. Let's now move on to Vrono Brambletoff. And
that's a bear with vines.
And like it says in the title, like so huggable, like so huggable. Huh?
Okay. Basically a Care Bear.
Yeah. Oh definitely, yeah. That's how I look at it for sure.
Is this guy gonna be really big then? Like, you see the monster that protects the other guy?
Probably large, like a large size or something.
Looks
like a Dumatef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
That would be nice.
Is that a moon symbol? Is that supposed to be the moon on top?
On his forehead?
Yeah.
He's got
maybe. I think it's just a third eye, maybe, possibly. You just can't see the full circle because the head's tilted up a little bit.
Yeah. And there's probably gonna be some bonding with the other guy too, since they mentioned they're always together in battle.
Okay.
Now I have a question: Is this the skin or its flesh showing?
I think it's plants. Like it's plant bark.
Well, I mean,
so it's like
I don't mean the vines. I just mean what looks like his arms and stuff. I don't know if is that flesh muscles.
It might just be vegetation, but like it looks.
I don't know.
Muscles,
it looks
like
a lot like muscles and tendon and bone. Like there's no skin on the thing.
Interesting. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, there might be like maybe some like ribbons of like cloth like around its torso. As well as like its feet, but I don't know.
Like kind of like its chest plate looks like there used to be flesh there because there's like holes in it. You can kind of see, like it was maybe at one time an actual like beast from Arboreus,
right?
But it got corrupted.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Definitely turned into a rage monster, almost like a sinister version of Doc Ock. Because I mean, those vines are sticking out from its back. Like they're operating like looks like 2 or 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them operating independent from him because they are sticking out of his back like a Doc Ock fashion. That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, it gives me more like Venom vibes than more Doc Ock, because like how Venom uses his tentacles as like weapons and he kind of just launches them and grows it out of his body.
Yeah, give it a mix. Yeah, it's a cross between for sure. Wow. Okay. Anything else before we close this and move on?
We know that these guys can create new life essentially, because this could be like basically a Frankenstein type monster, and that's why it looks so weird. He's been pieced together by one of the magi from actual animals that were in the forest.
I mean, they have their familiars.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because why not? If they have the power to draw life, wouldn't they have the power to like put life into something? And just the whole life and death concept and their whole like in tune with nature, that I just like, that's good that you brought up, because I just automatically assumed that they had like the power to like create, and that's what I assumed like a lot of this stuff was that we were seeing was just like stuff that they've like put together. Or because there's I don't want to jump ahead, but the other one that they showed that looks like this in the later notes, but
yeah, they actually mentioned they're the same species.
Mm-hmm. So, but like, I think they are created, but that's part of the lore that we don't know, and it's super exciting that there's stuff we don't know.
Can't wait to find out.
Can't wait to, yeah,
for sure. All right, so let us move on. Now we had again Patrick. And I'm just gonna hop this on because this is the next thing on like when I'm scrolling down. So Intergalactic Patrick. He likes to throw things at us every once in a while, and so he put this image. And this is the one of the burrowers, right?
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, he is a burrow. It's a unique
breaker.
hero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to the office first and snagged this off and Carmine's table, which looks like a big table because you see in the background there's like
There's
1,
more.
2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 other miniatures back there. All fuzzy back there. Yeah, thanks for the tease.
And this proves up another fact too, is that the Clockwork Combine are different Valkyrie generals too.
No, they actually this color is 3D printer color.
Yeah, the color comes
Oh,
from 3D
okay.
print. Yeah, it says it's all prototypes and color comes from 3D print. So
Yeah.
Oh, so it is going to be that green
Yep.
then.
they do their
It
own
might
3D
be
printing
that
though.
green. We don't know. We don't know if they're all Volarock, but we do know that
And there
Tuck
is
Harrigan's Volarock.
there is a miniature
okay.
back here that is darker or kind of painted.
Looks painted,
Maybe that's not a figure. Maybe that's terrain, trees
no, that's
type
definitely.
of thing.
I think it's definitely a miniature.
That's the figure. I think it might be painted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It might be one of the Gen Con painted ones, maybe.
It might be.
But yeah, you can see that there. Yeah, and did you guys notice the sparkly water? Someone's
I
got
did see
sparkly
sparkly
water.
water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
the cat hair right here, because I noticed that. I see that in my Tales of Valhalla shots sometimes where all the cat hairs get in the way. Yep. It happens all the time. Someone has a cat. Someone has a
Giant
cat.
cats of Valhalla.
Wait, is there like an office cat at Avalon Hill's offices that we can go and see and visit and
I
pet?
don't know, but that looks like a cat because I've seen it before in my almost 300,000 photos that I took for making Tales of Valhalla seasons 1, 2, and 3. I've had those happen often. You can't see them.
Hashtag
until...
show us the cat.
you can't see them until after the photo and stuff is done. But thank you, Patrick, for keep on throwing this stuff our way. This is, I mean, it's really.
That was
cool.
my fault, by the way.
Mm.
It's
I
always
was
our
asking.
fault.
No, I was asking for a photo of an actual figure because we didn't have a figure for them, and I needed a thumbnail picture. So
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Well,
Because
thanks,
I
Joe.
watched that video. Now, and we're gonna like Joe already just posted a little announcement on his channel for this. I'm gonna show this though, and there'll be a link in the description below for this as well. But for PulseCon, there will be a live stream on PulseCon's YouTube channel, correct?
yeah, the Avalon Hill Pulse. It's the Avalon. No, I'm sorry. It's the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel.
Hasbro Pulse, right. And so there'll be a link in the description below for that. And they do show, they were, also if you go on HasbroPulse.com, there's information on the timeline about when things are going to happen for September 30th and October 1st for PulseCon. So that link, as well as PulseCon's YouTube page, will be in the link in the description below, so you guys can be able to catch all the action like we're going to come this Friday and Saturday. So yeah, I'll have those. So thanks for the announcement, Patrick. And I know these guys in the office are probably scrambling like crazy this week for getting all this set up. But yeah, okay, there's that plug in and done. And now let's move on to the next bit of Discord information. I think we did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now we're on Thursday, right? I think. All right. So, designer's notes, day 44. If I
I'll read
don't...
this one.
Oh, you want to read it? Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I don't kill a man every now and then, they forget who I am. Dorum, the Bulkhead Brawler, never backed down from a fight. Ever. Dorum accepts every contract, every opportunity to prove himself against the odds, is one more tale to tell, clasping mugs and shouting shanties like the strongest hull of an ironclad. Dorm stands firm against the largest of adversaries, with a tenacity and steadfast resolve, which rivals even the Valkyrie Aquila herself. The bigger a monstrosity roaring primal rage in his face. The higher Dorm, the Bulkhead Brawler, revs the engine of his mighty chain axe in response. Not one to ever be left behind in a charge, Dorm insists on always being the first to slam into the enemy ranks like a naval ram. Like a sudden storm of death and sudden following close behind Dorm and the various exiles of the Sundered Sea, experts in swordplay and barking irons, who stood before the mast at Aquila's call, like a sundered sea itself. The exiles are unpredictable and run rigs on their enemies, horns swaggling their adversaries with ease and appearing almost pistol-proof, seemingly always just out of reach and range.
Interesting. And here is the next dwarf that you definitely want in the future to add to your collection. Dorm the Bulkhead Brawler. Yeah.
So this was another Gen Con figure that we've seen.
Right.
Yep. And as a dwarf hero, that means someone else to bond with the axe grinder.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we already got, I think, kind of a preview of that backwards compatibility that they were talking about.
And it says in the title, "Who doesn't love chain axes?" Seriously.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's looking nice. And then we have Exiles of the Sundered Sea as well. So are these pirates then?
Yeah.
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 More pirates.
Arr, yeah, matey.
I got the snake
do,
lady in there from Gen
different
Con as
species,
well.
Yeah.
Because that's the one from Gen Con too.
Yep.
Unique squad.
I mean, yeah, Gen Con. But then there's some like we haven't seen, like this guy. The rest of the three actually.
Yeah, there's a snake guy. There's two pirate man and woman.
So according to the details, then are these the Sundered Sea ones here? It says appearing almost pistol proof. Hornswoggling their adversaries. So does that mean they like can dodge like ranged attacks? Yeah, range attacks quite easily. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a stealth dodge ability that the Krav Maga have.
Sure.
For like if they're non-adjacent, one shield blocks all damage.
And they have, I see they have ranged and melee weapons. So that's kind of a unique squad to really look out for if they could do both ranged and melee.
Yeah.
If that's what they're able to do. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's nice.
They for sure all have guns, so they're definitely got range, but then having a sword would like give them, an extra like melee ability. Or is it just like, because I mean, even like a Blastotron could technically still have one range and he could still be
right.
But these guys actually have a melee weapon and a range weapon, so maybe they get like buffs for both. That'd be cool. I mean, they are a unique squad, so why not?
It's looking good.
I dig it.
These guys.
There was actually a discussion about the Sundered Sea because they're like a lot of people were asking where is the Sundered Sea, and I was actually I pulled up the map. I dug around. I looked really close on both maps that we got, and I mentioned in the Discord. I was like, yeah, I don't see it on the map. I don't know where it is, and Chris then tagged me. He replied to me to tell me, you won't find it on the old map. It's too cropped in.
Show me the map. Show me the map.
So we now have a confirmation that there's a larger map in play.
That's why I said last week, show me the map.
It includes a location called the Sundered Sea. So,
excellent.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was another person in Discord was able to do a mock-up, was trying to see what would be the general location of the Sundered Sea. And they had to post it like away from Hawkland, so like the Hawkland area, and then everything after that, like away from it, off the map, they put it up. And Chris was like, "That's a great looking version," something like that. Like, it was just like, "You're brilliant!" Like mentioning that there's a possible, we're probably going to the east of Hawkland, and it's going to be a whole bunch of new territories there. So
it'd be kind of cool if, let's say, for example, this coming week that we do get a map, but it's like Fog of War. Each day it gets revealed a different spot on the map.
I really don't mind that. I really wouldn't mind that. You know? Yep. See, Undamped Pick says that dwarf might be my favorite sculpt from AOA. I didn't know I needed a sci-fi pirate dwarf, but now can't imagine my life without one. Yeah,
No, for sure.
I get the vibe. I definitely get the vibe. A must unique hero for sure. Now, if you think we're done,
October.
we're not.
Thursday. This is just Thursday.
Yeah, because you think, oh, Friday, okay, he just gives us, one more thing. No, this is not Chris's plan. Nope, not
This ain't no Happy Friday, see you on Monday BS, okay? This is a firework finale.
This is Chris. I've been pissed off all week by this one comment from a person. So guess what? You're gonna take it and you're gonna like it. And so, let's move on. Onward to Friday, and this was just quite. I'm just like, I usually download everything. Like, I take screenshots and I download stuff when everything's out at the end of the week, and then I gather it up, put it in the file to have ready for Sunday. And just Friday, I just like, okay, great, he got one thing, and then he did. Okay, now he posted another thing, and I'm just like, I guess I'm just gonna sit here for like all day and wait until he's, he says, because he didn't say, post after post, see you next Friday. He didn't say it, so I'm like, he's gonna do more. He's gonna do more, and I'm just like, I just keep on waiting. Finally, he's done. Just like, wow. So wait a second. Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry, I had a burp. That was gross. All right. So let's do this.
I had a very similar issue because they came out around like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. PST.
Right.
So I was still awake. I was literally about to go to sleep, and then I saw a notification. There's an update, and I saw it, and I was like, oh man, there's multiple updates. And I was like, I was so tired, but I was like literally sitting there, like typing out, like for my Instagram, typing out the updates and like all that stuff. And then like the fourth one came out, and I'm like, this has to be the last one. And like I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then there was 2 more, and I'm like, wow, like there was like 6 in every single post. Like I like made a joke like, geez, Chris, or like, man, like is this the last one, or like I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But it was just so many in one day, and like point taken, Chris, point taken. We get it. You still got a lot more stuff.
and we still haven't seen everything.
No, of course,
it was crazy.
I keep on saying this nearly every time we come on, that we ain't saying nothing yet, and even with all this stuff, we ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah,
we still haven't seen
literally
nothing.
haven't.
No,
so.
we haven't.
Not that we have any insider information. But.
So let's
crazy.
Start. Now this took, because I watched videos, I watched other videos. It took Heroscape about 30+ minutes to get this stuff done, I think, if I remember correctly. So let's see how we do.
We're gonna speed run it, okay? 15 minutes.
Okay, we'll try. I'll time myself. It's 11 o'clock right now.
Timer.
11 o'clock right now. We'll see if we can get through this before we fall asleep. All right. So, designer's notes, day 45. Here we go. Cornelius Breach, the derelict prince, has ever been a jagged thorn in the sides of the Dawn Raider captains. He does little to mask his ambitions, breaks ranks, and foils contracts whenever it may serve his wicked plans. His fabled blade, the Butcher's Cleaver, has put low many a soul, reaping a harvest across Valhalla. Some believe his day will come due, when the dredgy he leaves in his wake will catch up to him. But few realize he welcomes that reckoning, and the moment he can rise ascendant over all of the Dawn Raiders and bend their knee to his master Utgar's throne. So this is someone that's kind of separated from Utgar, but not really. It sounds like, maybe, kind of.
Yeah.
Infiltrating the Dawn Raiders to take control of them for Utgar.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
So Cornelius breached the derelict prince, and he's a prince.
Prince of what?
Or it might
What
be a nickname.
realm?
It could be a nickname too, because pirates and their nicknames. And a derelict's like a broken ship,
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it could be like a nickname too. He rules nothing but destruction or something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, and one more thing to point out: this character is actually one of the characters that was in the trailer that dropped in August 3rd, and from everything that we've seen, we've gotten all the characters in the trailer so far. So that was kind of an exciting reveal. It's like, oh hey, there's that one, the one we've been asking for. And we finally
exactly.
got it, so, yeah.
I like him. He seems like he would be a potential possible villain maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see.
He's gonna have some special power, that sword, that's for sure.
For sure, he seems like he's got his own agenda.
Mhm.
So that's good. That's good. Really good. Okay.
I thought it's just funny though, because like the Dawn Raiders are supposed to be separate from their Valkyrie generals, but he still seems like he has strong ties to his Valkyrie general, even though he's part of the Dawn Raider syndicate. So like I said, maybe ulterior motive, maybe he's a spy, maybe that's why he doesn't like really fit in. But it says he wants to rise above all the other captains, all the other Dawn Raider faction, and have them bend the knee to Utgar. So I don't know. He sounds crazy though. He literally looks like he can be like a spawn of Utgar. I mean, we don't really know how he looks, but he looks like the prince. That made me think, like, is that his son? Like, it was a joke in my mind. Like, I even said it to myself as a joke. He definitely looks like he can be like the spawn of evil.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
For sure. Now, moving on, because we're trying to speed through this. All right. Designer's notes. Day 45. Knaves of the Silver Scimitar give no quarter and expect none in return. Members of the Silver Scimitar take contracts based on the promise of whetted blades and scores of plunder. And Valkyrie Revna promises this in spades. For the Knaves of the Silver Scimitar, ideals like honor and code are just foolish words used by other members of the Dawn Raider Syndicate who lack the stomach. Those rapscallions draw steel even before the order is given to attack, raiding with a taste for bloody carnage and hunger for the quick kill. And as the warnings of attack sounds alarm, the knaves disappear once more into the fog of war to stalk their next victims and hunt more loot. So we got these guys here. So yeah, kind of like a maybe like inbred ninja-ish mechanical. Like you got like some. Well, they're definitely close combat because they just have blades.
So they if you the bug guy specifically in the corner, right? He was at Gen Con and he was one of the units that Chris showed off at their event. So like they had an interview and they were showing off what they had at Gen Con, and they were talking about the bug guy, and they said that he's a slash and dash attacker. Like he rushes into the combat and attacks everything on sight. And they mentioned that like back in August that was the plan. So we got a whole group of them of these slash and dash attackers. So that's gonna be really interesting to see how that plays.
And the title for this one is Blades, 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 Blades. You know, that's simple enough.
It's like they all look fast. Like they all look like they're ready to get into battle quickly. Like, and that it's funny. Like that's what their miniature looks like, and that's what Jeremy just confirmed. Like they look like they're supposed to get into the action, slice and dice, and if they died, oh well. Like They're like almost as like the vanguard for the Dawn Raiders. Just to get in there, get a few kills early, and do some work.
Right. Some of them remind me of the Gret Orcs. I don't know if that's what they're going for, if it's a different species. But I was wondering if some of those silver scimitar are orc pirates.
Well, they got pointy ears, so that reminds me of like elves or orcs or something similar.
Yeah.
Something
If you look at the Gret Orc models.
Yeah, especially the guy with the eye patch.
Definitely
and,
the guy with the eye patch looks like a Gret Orc.
Definitely, I didn't even notice that, but that's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, because I feel like every single pirate has some sort of connection to Classic Scape.
Classic Scape, yep.
Yeah.
Like Dawn Raiders is their connection.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I'm
this
excited.
is another multi-species squad, though.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's interesting what's gonna be in the species section of the card.
1, 2, 3, 5 captains. We got 5 captains and like 3 different pirate squads. So that I really see this mix and match style crew thing going on. You can choose a captain and a crew for every scenario. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and next. Here we go. Designer's Notes Day 45. Marachat, Mind Whisperer, sees deep into the thoughts of the weak-minded, sowing doubt, breeding dissent, playing in their heads like a master of puppets. The Dryan Magi hold within their life-born order many various disciplines of the arcane arts. Some, like Marachat, dig deep straight into the roots of their enemies' souls and manipulate the purest essence of their very beings. On the battlefields of Valhalla, it is common to witness her allies perform near miracles of prowess in her presence, and even more common to watch as her enemies turn their swords and axes back towards their former comrades. Many have tried to strike Marachat, Mind Whisperer, down to stop her voice scratching around in their heads, but only discover a strange power emanating from her staff that deflects their mortal blows, further driving them mad. Well, it sounds like, the babysitter that you always wanted. Here we are.
Yeah, I really like this one.
It says, wait, Tim, put down that bat. For the title of this thing. So this is like kind of like an opposite to basically our death guy, that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's similar name too. Similar name too, but so you have these earth-like earth connected or nature connected magi for these units. Very nice. Now, what does it mean with a staff separated from her like that? I wonder. Because you have or is it's just there as its
artwork?
Just on individual artwork just to see it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's easier to
because if you look at the rightmost character pose, her staff is there, but it's very light, so that way you can kind of see through it for design purposes, and then it's just redrawn few inches over, so they know what the staff looks like from that angle, but it's not blocking parts of the rest of the artwork.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then she was at Gen Con too.
Yep.
She was in the further back area.
I just passed her picture too when I was looking at the other dude. But it's crazy, like
looking at a mind shackle type thing with her.
Yeah, I was just literally about to get into that. Like, she seems like a mind shackling, like Raylan, because there's also like a defensive aura.
Buff.
And she like gives some kind of buff to the people around her, because it said it's not uncommon to see heroic feats from people around her. I'm paraphrasing, but that's crazy because she gives off a buff almost. Like, it seems like there's no way she can't. But then also like mind shackle, like she does something to her enemies as well. So it'd be cool. Like, maybe it's some kind of like it's a specific like personality trait. Like if they're relentless or something like that, you know, they make up one, or if they have that personality trait, she can, you know, because it says weak-minded. So I'm thinking somebody like Nagaksa or something like that, she can't mind shackle, or somebody who is, you know, has a higher intelligence, she couldn't mind shackle.
Right.
But
Ooh, that would be
they're
fun.
still mind shackling. Maybe mind shackling common squad units, so they break off a part of the, you know, whatever. But there has been no common squads introduced.
Yeah.
But maybe like a squad unit, she could easily do it rather than a hero.
Sure.
So that's cool. Just can't wait to see the cards.
And I'm almost reminded of like a puppet, just based on like she looks like a very like wooden hinges type. You know what's underneath? She looks almost like a marionette, with the exception of the head and the face. I mean the horns or antlers for this look more like they're tree branches, and it looks like it's more blended part of her face than the other. Our death guy from earlier did. She looks a little bit more blended into her features.
The Gen Con miniature is just all green, just slightly different shades of green, and it's got some maybe a darker wash for the details. So I'm not sure if that's like the final colors of the character. She has definitely got more of that kind of all blended together, like you're saying, at least the color wise.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they did. They had a painter from, like, there's someone that was on Instagram that mentioned that they were.
Oh yeah, I followed him. Yeah.
Oh wow. Like, I wonder like how much direction he got in terms of what the official colors were. Or
Right.
Just that person was able to do whatever they wanted to do.
Literally, he said, this is not a direct quote, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he said they gave him the figures and they said go crazy, like have fun.
So he
interesting.
That's what, like the sense. I know I heard that somewhere, but don't direct quote me.
It might be in the Instagram comments that it was mentioned.
Yeah.
He did get a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Certainly.
But she's different though than the death guy, because the death guy is death, and so like looking back at him, like he's like a skeleton. You could see her; she's like almost like full of life. But what you said about her, like the puppet, like I thought you were going to talk about her outstretched hand. Kind of looks like she's controlling a marionette.
It's her whole body that looks like a marionette.
Yeah. But she does look like a puppet as well.
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's a real boy.
Wild.
But yeah, okay. Now, believe it or not, we're already 13 minutes into this, and we're still not done yet.
Shoot.
So,
all right, hold on. You want me to get I'll get the next one.
All right, let me bring it up.
Read.
Hurry.
All right. So this is
Continuation. Still Friday, everyone.
Yep.
It's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think you look funny on a horse. Like a sudden, violent avalanche of hooves and horns, Halucia, scion of Wild, charges into battle with an unbridled fury of nature itself, hacking, slashing, and plowing through adversaries at the spear tip of Valorak's legions. His massive form dominates the landscape, towering over the ranks of attackers. He splits apart like cords of seasoned wood. Other Dryan Lifeborn Order quickly follow behind, filling the gap he creates in the enemy's tattered lines. Confident with the Scion of the Wild at the front of their assault, enemies will find it difficult to rally and strike back against the wave of destruction. And yes, there is a subtle name swap happening.
Yep. There was a previous Halucia Sign of the Wild back in August. But I think it's interesting because there was actually a lot of discussion about that. Specifically, Chris was like, people were like, wait, why are you changing the name? And Chris is like, well, this character fits the theme of a Sign of the Wild more than the previous character did. So the previous character is going to have a different name. But,
okay.
And they didn't give him a proper name. They just gave him the Scion of the Wild, though.
He said his name was Halucia back when they revealed Hellforge Manticore. He did those like subtle drops. It's like someone would ask and then he would just say it, and then everyone would freak out with emoji.
Yeah.
and then it would disappear in a flood of replies. So it's like I always find like the little things he says because you have to when you backtrack his comments. But
There's a ton of them.
said. He said it was a Halucia sign, which is so funny because that was the first time he mentioned Volorok. And I still wonder if that was the subtle reveal that Avalon Bill was saying that was dropped and no one caught it yet.
Mm.
I was like, did he say this name and we never realized that was the 9th Valkyrie general this whole time?
Yeah.
But now we know that's a Valkyrie general.
Undamped is saying, this is the Dryan Lifeborn character I'm most excited for. Curious about why they changed the names, and we were just talking about that actually.
Yeah, he mentioned it was thematically this centaur better fits the theme of the Sign of the Wild than the previous character. So previous character's gonna have a different name.
Change up.
Which is interesting. They're switching these ideas.
Yeah, it's like a lot of this stuff. It's still like
conceptual.
Yeah. So I mean, lot of planning still going on, which I mean, to me that's great, you know, because like I said,
we're seeing everything in action. Like it's not just all like we're watching this development.
I'm just thinking what we've seen so far. Do you think it might be maybe 3 to 6 months worth of stuff? And they said they got 2 years worth of stuff coming up. Do you think? We have definitely not seen 2 years worth of stuff yet.
Right. Oh no! This is. I think this is what's in the box.
Probably most of it, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, yeah, and just playing oh my gosh, the sword, the shield, the again.
Like, what is that sword? Like, what is that made of? It looks like the Pokemon looks like Scyther, like one of his.
Yeah. It looks like a wing of some kind. Yeah. It definitely looks like a wing.
Yeah, I mean, the animals or the beasts on Arboreus probably have some crazy appendages that you could break off and just use as a weapon.
I mean, you see the bugs on Arboreus, like, imagine there's something.
And this is a scimitar you cannot hitch a ride on, for sure.
Yeah.
Don't even try. Yeah, don't even try, because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, this was again one of the ones I was talking about with like the horns coming out of his head. Like a lot of that seems to be a theme. Is this big brow?
For sure.
Yeah, all right. All the Dryon have some sort of spikes.
Next.
It does make them look more in tune to nature, though.
I'll take this one too.
Next, we're 18. Okay, that's fine, and then I'll do the last two because we still got tons more. All right. Go ahead, Jason. Or I mean, go ahead, Joey. Or who are you, Joe? My goodness, I know too many people.
Amazing.
Joe, crazy. Go ahead.
There he goes.
There you go.
A force of nature to be reckoned with. On their home planet of Arboreus, Grove Keepers protect and defend the Dryon Lightborn Order's most sacred sites, guarding them from those seeking to defile these places of mystical energy. On Valhalla, the Volorok uses Gershura, Grove Keeper, as a living wall of razor-sharp thorns as large as a man's arm and vines as thick as tree trunks to deny enemy movements on the battlefield. Through they may try to chop their way through the wicked tangle of the pain that Gershura places in front of her opponents, she can call upon the raw natural life force of nearby plants to regrow her massive form faster than the axe blade or the torch flame can bite and burn her flesh away.
Look at this pretty gal, you know? It's like, so I'll be picking those things out for days. Yeah, kind of like a porcupine, you know? Kind of. A very nightmare version of a porcupine. Again, you have these, you know, tentacles coming out of the back, so this is like going to be common probably for like this type of factions, type of people to where they're taking over.
Yeah, the Grove. I think the species. I don't know if the species is a Grove Keeper, but the Garushia and Vrono are the same species.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're both that like Rono used to be a grove
Is
keeper.
that,
That's
like,
what Chris mentioned.
Like 3 eye holes on each side?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what it looks
Nice. Yeah, very melee. Very
Mhm.
big melee type creature.
I can't wait to see the scale of
Mhm.
the majority of the figures.
Right.
Like, I really do hope this is like a huge figure, not just a huge figure.
Yeah. And then there's a mention she can call upon the raw natural life force of nearby plants to regrow her massive form. So it's like, does she heal if she's near jungle trees or something like that? Like with all those plants that they were showing off. If you put her next to those, does she heal every time she takes damage next to a plant?
So jungle terrain might have
A bonus
for like these types of plant-based creatures.
Mhm.
That would actually be a
what I'm
nice, a fun thing to have on the battlefield. You know, that give jungle a whole new perspective.
New strategic element.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, next. Enter. I'll read this. The dragon. 10 facts you didn't know about wanton destruction. Zenithrax, the Soul Weaver, is an unfathomably enormous avatar of the raw, mystical energies that created our universe. How awesome is that? Made manifest in the form of a primal apex predator not seen on Arboreus for countless epochs. A legend even among the Magi of the Dryan Lifeborn Order, Zenithrax personifies the undeniable power of life and death, and being drawn to Valhalla, where the mystical wellsprings are located, has amplified that power almost beyond reason. Now, Zenithrax dominates the war-torn plains as an indomitable harbinger of Volorak's absolute determination, bringing low those that would dare raise blades and barrels against the Valkyrie's forces. Wherever Zenithrax's feet tread, the ground heaves and breaks, dropping her enemies to the ground in horror. I think that's the type of that, in horror, as she sweeps across battlefields with utter contempt for those that would oppose Volorak. There is little escape from the Soul Reaver's reach. Those that try to flee find fast-moving tails darting under the crust of the earth and thrusting up through the surface and impaling enemies from below.
The tails are spikes.
Yeah, and I mean we've
3 tails.
And it says up here, Heroscape Social, Dryon Strato Fortress. That's the description of the photo there. Strato Fortress.
Wow.
Dude.
That's the thing too. They touched on it, like how big it is, because everybody that was like kind of something everybody was talking about. Like, wow, that sculpt is huge, and it literally says like, yes, this is a really big figure.
Oh yeah.
Like just from the get go, like, and what is it, unfathomably like enormous or whatever. Yeah, it's huge, and that's just something like just from how it looked on the table of the Gen Con display. Made it seem like it's bigger than any of the dragons we have already in Heroscape.
Yeah.
Like almost like a head and shoulders above the rest. So
Yes.
it's just going to be so awesome to see this guy,
It's gonna be awesome
lady,
to
I don't
play.
know, not her name.
All the Icarian dragons are like, wait, like, we thought we were gods.
Right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have no idea.
Well, what I found interesting about the lore too is that this dragon has existed since the creation of the universe, practically. So when talking about taking the power of the wellsprings to go through time to get whatever warriors or creatures you want to fight for you, this Valkyrie general went to the beginning of time. It's from what I can read, and got this dragon that's from the beginning. Am I right? That's how I'm reading
Yes,
it.
I think that's what they're saying.
Exactly.
It's weird because like they say it's an avatar, right?
Yeah.
And so for anyone that knows the term avatar, it's a manifestation. It's a physical
Vessel with a body.
vessel of a divine vessel. So this is supposed to be a divine vessel of those primal energies that you're referring to, like the beginning, the creation of the universe.
Right.
This is the avatar of that, and then it's the shape of a predator that is extinct on Arboreus, like that on this planet. They no longer have that. So this was like their version of the dinosaurs, basically. But like this, whoever Zenithrax is, and that's why I wonder if Zenithrax is like one of the wizards taking the form of a dragon kind of thing, and using the form of this primal beast, and it's just there's a lot of power behind this character, and it's going to be pretty intense, like both on the battlefield and in the story, because Volorok is not messing around. Like whoever like Revna's in trouble. That's all I have to say. Revna's got bugs, but Volorok's got a dragon.
Valhalla is in trouble.
Right.
That's just.
I do really hope that enormous, when it says enormous avatar, that enormous really means that's going to be a new classification for
bigger
size.
than huge. Bigger than huge. Yeah.
I'm praying for that, not just for the bingo board, but just for like.
I mean, we got the spider still.
You can't just have one enormous. You're gonna have multiple enormous. So bigger the better, man. Go big or go home. Let's go.
Well, now we have one more post, and we're actually coming in. We're probably gonna not beat Sir Heroscape's time, but that's okay.
Damn.
We're still having it. We're finishing a lot sooner than I thought we would. For when it comes to going through all these, so we got one more post from N Carmine on Friday, and this one's a fun one because it's got some history. I'll have Jeremy explain it. This
is actually more powerful than Xenorex right now, actually. This is actually, we're pumping this up to be a more powerful, like Xenorex is powerful, but doesn't compare to this last one, okay?
This is the
doesn't
pinnacle.
compare.
This is the pinnacle. Actually, I'd like to see both of them face off. That would be fun.
Right.
Yes.
Because we probably will. It probably will happen, so here we go. This is it.
No, you got to do the slow motion. You got to do a slow motion animation of this face off when these characters come out.
I'll do it. I can do a stop motion. Heck yeah.
Yep.
That would be fun. Designer's notes. So this is the last post that Chris has on Friday. Designer's notes, day 45. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Happy Friday. See everyone on Monday night. We have a freaking penguin armed to the teeth. How about that? How about
specifically
that?
A penguin with a machine gun.
Right, and go ahead, and Jeremy, and explain that a little bit, okay?
Yeah. So the thing is, I knew the term. Right, it's a specific phrasing that exists on Heroscapers.com. It's penguins with machine guns. Like that's how it's always been said, and every single time for. Literally, I want to say Wave 6, Wave 7, Wave 8, and Wave 9. Whenever those got revealed, people were like, oh, this is where the penguins with machine guns are going to come out. And I didn't know what was going on. I remember this being mentioned all the time on Heroscapers forums, and people would always reply every time a new set would come out or was hinted at, yeah, it's going to have the penguins with machine guns in it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Where is this coming from? There was a podcast interview that Craig Van Ness was interviewed by Truth, or Colby Dosh, the guy who owns Plaid Hat Games right now, right? He did all the design for the D&D units like that. He interviewed Craig back in 2007, right? And he was asking Craig about all these questions about what are the potentials for new characters, and they were talking about it. They actually mentioned pirates in that podcast, which is super cool. Another nod to what we're currently getting. But he listed all the stuff. He was talking about fighter Kyrie, he's like war elephants, talking about all these things, and Craig's agreeing with him, and Craig's adding to the list too. And then at the very end of the list, Craig just says penguins with machine guns. Wait, well maybe not penguins with machine guns. And then they start laughing about it, and Colby's like, I'm going to name the episode that. I'm going to name this episode penguins with machine guns. And then he aired it, and then that literally became the running joke. Every single time a new character was announced, penguins with machine guns. Everyone was asking, They had been asking for those 3 years straight, right? And I, as I was digging for this information, there was apparently a bunch of customs of penguins with machine guns ever made. There's an official killer penguin with a machine gun mechanic in C3G, right? Like, this thing had been running joke for the Heroscapers community for years.
Wow.
And finally, we actually have it as a unit.
What, this interview
Wow.
was
Like,
like
this
2007?
legacy. Yeah, since 2007.
So
This
it's
has
been
a
how
run.
many years?
12, like 15 years.
15, yeah. Let's say about 15
It's been
years.
15 years.
Wow,
We've been
that's
waiting
a
for this
huge-
unit.
And
That's
it's here.
a huge drop then.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
he
this
was
is
just
a
like,
statement. This is a statement.
yeah.
Like, if everyone's, for anyone out there that has been worried that this is not going to be actual Heroscape or connected to the original Heroscape, we have a character brought to life that was a reference from something that Craig said 15 years ago. So I don't know what else to tell you. This is a pretty
Sign
good,
me up.
This is a pretty good indicator that
me
this is
up,
going to connect to the
Like
classics
4
game.
times over already, because, yeah, we keep
Right.
on saying this. But yes, exactly.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I hope, I mean, I don't want it to be too small, but I like it to be small enough to where, you know,
Just,
it
it's
just,
the
it's like,
impact.
I wet myself over a rabbit? It's got huge, look at the bones, you know, that type of presence to where it just walks out and you're just like, ha, 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 and then it goes, poof, and, you know, yeah.
Everyone misjudges it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and just like, well, you know, show us the cards. You need to see the stats for this thing. You need
Yep.
to see the stats for this thing.
But
for sure.
you know what's great about this is that the save file name is I am Doom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like
Yep.
no shot, right? Like I was generally like, no way that's real. I had no idea the story. When I saw that, I'm like, what? No way. Like this, I'm happy. I'm generally
that's its
so
name.
happy.
If
But I'm like,
if its
no
name,
way.
If its name is not Doom, I'm gonna be upset. The penguin's name needs to be Doom now. It's just Chris. Chris, listen, you posted it there, so either it's his name or it's a nickname. And if it's not its name, it's gonna be its nickname. That's what
Right.
people are gonna call it from now. It's Doom. It's Doom the Penguin.
Is this the first example of a non-mammalian vorid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's actually not even a vorid. It's part of the Clockwork Combine, but not
Okay.
a vorid. Because the vorid are supposed to be the mammals.
Yeah, it would make sense though if there was more like a human, like personified animals.
Yeah,
What is
different
it? What-
species. Yeah.
Yeah,
How is he
there's
pulling that
a
trigger?
term for it.
I would like it just to be
It's the
from Earth.
tailbone, or it's the bones in the fin.
You know, it's like somehow it's a military modified animal that got rescued by a Valkyrie general, and so it's
Oh.
got like it's like a Rocket Raccoon type thing to where, you know, it's got the knowledge, it's
Yeah.
got the memory, it's got human characteristics, but it's a penguin, and the Valkyrie general's just like, okay, here's a machine gun, here's a rocket launcher, go to town. You know,
I need your help.
I'm
Now,
a
are we
little
gonna see-
penguin with a special set of skills.
Are we gonna see more of these penguins with
I
deadly
hope
weapons?
so.
Or is this gonna be a one-off kind of special piece?
I hope so. I
hope-
yeah,
I wanna
I would
hope
absolutely love
faction.
more penguins.
Like the penguin with a sword, and then a penguin with a shield, and a penguin. I just want to see all these penguins with different things, and penguin
And then
with a mop.
they could do puffins, and they could do auks and all the northern birds. You know, just get them all up.
it's
Yeah.
it's lovely. Undamp Pick says, I've played Heroscape from the beginning, proud owner of Sparkly Water. However, I only joined the online community around Wave 8. I saw the penguins with machine guns comments after the discontinuation. I didn't realize this went back to even earlier. I love this. Yeah,
It's an
it's
old
cool.
meme.
Cool bit of
old
history to know.
Yeah.
So
Heroscape Legacy.
So with that, we completed everything in practically 2 hours, which yay for us. I thought it was going to take twice as long. Now,
Yeah, but
Not
we're still
everything.
not technically done.
Yeah, this is the part where people can go to bed if they want.
Yeah,
Well,
actually, let me bring up, because I want to get this thing also where Jeremy downloaded to me, so I want to bring this up. So this apparently now I can post this. So Sir Heroscape.
Now we can talk about it.
Yeah, now we can talk about it now. So I don't really know much about this. I forget what Sir Heroscape said. So please.
Volarock symbol.
Volarock, okay.
So we've gotten we got Jandar and Vidar's updated symbols. We've got Revna's symbol, and now this was Volarock's conceptual symbol. So it's not the finished product, but this is the concept for what Volarock. That's what the icon's going to be on the cards. So
And Volarock is the Dragons?
Dragons and the Clockwork Combine. So
okay.
Nice. I like.
I see
And the
it
dragon.
now. I see it. I see it now. I see the Clockwork Combine, and I see the Dryad.
Because I think a lot of people were pointing out that the first character that had Volarock's name, right, which was the previous Scion of the Wild, the staff that character's using was created by Volarock, like forged personally by Volarock for that wizard. And so they're associating, that this Valkyrie is forging weapons for the characters that they summon into the world. So
for sure,
pretty cool.
So,
which possibly means the penguin got a machine gun from Volarock.
and Undamped Pick also says now give me a penguin with a frying pan.
Yeah,
that's the new meme. We started.
Penguin with a frying pan. I'm down with it. Yes, and so that is that for this past week. But go ahead, Ben.
Oh, there's this game, Disgaea, and it literally has these units in it called Prinnies, and that's literally what I thought of was a Prinnie, but these guys look more like capable, because it's a running joke that the Prinnies are like stupid and like they always mess up, but like these guys look smarter than them. But that's the immediate thing I got was like, oh wow, like a Prinnie. But yeah, that was just my little.
All right.
My first penguin thought.
For sure. Now, I'm gonna give. Let's see here. Since we are 2 hours into it, so what I'm gonna do, is now if you're watching the ToV podcast, there's not gonna be a break at all. We'll just get to right to the next segment. But what I'm gonna do right now for this live stream, just to give those of us who will continue a small break, and as well as give an opportunity for those who need to go to bed tonight, a time to break off. I am going to, and who is gonna stay and who's gonna go? Just so I know.
I'm staying.
Okay, Jason is going. Joe's staying. Jeremy, you're staying.
I can stay. Yeah.
Ben, are you staying or going?
I'll stay for a little bit. Yep.
Okay, so you'll stay for the second part of this. Okay, so Jason's got to go. Jason, go ahead and give your final thoughts, and as well as where people can find you.
Yes, I'm liking some of these new guys. I mean, I like the little bit of lore we're getting with like the dragon. That thing looks just amazingly awesome. So that's probably my most favorite guy we've seen yet. And one last question I want to ask before I jump off here. So with all the new like brand new stuff, and take out the Dawn Raiders who have all the existing Heroscape characters. Other than Utgar, do any of the old generals have any of the new guys? It seems like they're all attached to Volarock or Revna or somebody else.
Well, we saw in like the FEET stuff on Monday that their different colors stand for different Valkyrie generals, probably.
That's all Dawn Raiders, right? Outside the
except
Dawn Raiders.
except for
the Dawn Raiders.
The Vorid.
I mean, we have like the Swarm and the Marrow like Friday stuff that we like the 2.0. Yeah, so some of the OG come like you have from Vidar, you have from Jandar, you have from Utgar because Raylan turns evil. Don't forget that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But the brand new species are all, except for a couple of the Dryan or Utgar.
Yeah, it looks like they're promoting more of like I said, we haven't. I'm sure they have like from other Valkyrie generals too.
Yeah, the Dawn Raiders are much more classic generals.
They're just introducing
the new ones.
a lot of this new stuff, but I
feel like it's
confident
to
there's
throw
gonna
back
be more stuff.
to Chris's first notes, like one of the first notes that he put out, he said, like specifically he was talking about the Dawn Raider Syndicate, but I feel like this is true across the board through whatever they've shown us, is they wanted to give a lot of the new players something new that's their own. But I feel like they've also hidden in all of these factions a tie to a previous general. Yep. Maybe they might not be totally them, or like especially with the Dawn Raider Syndicate, they're like they've broken away from their faction, but it's something totally new that these new people have as their own. But then it's also like a nod, especially with the Friday drops, where they're really literally revealing 2.0 characters. But it's like a nod to us as classic players, like that. Hey, this is still Heroscape. There's still ties to the old lore, still ties to the old generals, but all of this new stuff is, new to us as well. So I think that's the feeling that I'm getting from it, is like, yeah, like it is tied to the new generals in a way, but like you brought up, there's nothing that directly ties these guys to the old generals except for the Friday drops. But yeah, like I think that's just what they're kind of trying to showcase, is like, right, we can bring back and still have familiar ties, but all this stuff is brand new too. I don't know how to put that, but like, yeah. So
no, I think you did put it well. Yeah.
It's still new to us, and we can like it, but then it also gives us like, it makes us want to hug our old figures even tighter. Like this is my boy, Sergeant Drake, or this is Torkel Na, or whatever. But it definitely gives these new players something to like hold on to too. It's like their first time in the game, their favorite character is somebody that's brand new to us as well. So I think that's a cool little thing that they're giving to us as classic players, but then also saving for the new players. That was my take on it. I don't even know if that has anything to do with what you asked, Jason, but
kind of. Yeah. I just noticed that. I'm wondering if I'm reading too much into the Age of Annihilation, assuming that all the new generals steamrolled most of the old guys, and that's why the Dawn Raiders exist, because they're basically what's left of the old armies. But anyway,
it'd be interesting
probably
to see.
A much longer.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We'll see.
All right, so I'm supposed to be signing off at some point here. So yeah. So I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield. You can find my videos over at tabletopbattlefield.com, and Space Combat Miniatures live over at EmpireUnderSiege.com. My game, Legends of Caledashia. So thanks for having me, Ryan.
All right.
And I will see you guys later then.
For sure, and he's got a lot of good painting tutorials too on his page as well. So yeah, check out his YouTube channel for sure. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna allow us to have, I think, like a 10-15 minute break. And while I have the break banner up, I'll play the latest episode of ToV, so you guys are like entertained while we take a little break, because that's about like 14 minutes long. And so when that's off, then we'll come back on and continue with more of this live stream and this podcast. So don't get anywhere. Enjoy watching the latest episode of ToV, and we will be right back. And soon will the Heroscape rise. Yes, AOA was a great surprise. One day when the funding is done, we'll take our dice and roll. Hello, folks. All right, we're back. We're back here. Let me get this.
I can't believe that was still tonight.
What was still tonight?
The sea shanty.
The sea shanty. Yeah, you thought,
Friday's update, that was so long, right? But this stream has been so long that we opened with a sea shanty.
Kind of did,
bro.
Yeah.
What a night.
Yep, and we're not done yet. We still got, I'm gonna address YouTube comments. So from last week's YouTube video from the live stream last week, we have some comments from peoples. And so we are going to cover them, and let's get it. Hopefully I screenshot everything. At least this is what I got, so hopefully this is it. If I missed something, then I'm sorry. But let us get to it here. Okay, I'll just make sure everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. All right. Let's go. First comment, and it is Justin, who I believe is undamped there on the Twitch chat. Yep, it is. It says, thank you for bringing over my questions from Wednesday's stream, which was not this last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before last. You're very welcome. I said I was going to do it, so when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. I had a great time on Sunday at Lambeau Field. I'm sure you did. Oh my goodness, a dream. And really glad I could catch a replay of your stream on Monday afternoon. I was initially disappointed with the announcement of Terrain Week. I have a lot of terrain and didn't think I needed more. These teases were awesome, from new ruins to a new castle and the unexpected announcement of more jungle trees. Terrain Week turned out to be my second favorite week of reveals after the Clockwork Combine. As a Jurassic Park fan, one who loves the orc faction, Grimnecks needs a bigger dinosaur, could follow the Jurassic Park franchise by letting a potential 2.0 figure ride a Gigantosaurus. Besides Grimneck, other figures included in ROTV that could potentially get updates are Mimring and DW9K, Deathwalker 9000. As much as I love the Stegosaurus Joe, the Triceratops would be a much better orc mount, in my opinion. Yes, it would. Bring on the Grut War Mammoths. And also he says, hashtag show me the cards.
Go.
Yes, Justin. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, Justin, for me as well, when Terrain Week started, I kind of had the impression like, okay, you know, I was kind of indifferent starting out, but after you get into it, you realize, especially the scale, it's like, so it's not just the miniatures, they also have these terrains. Yeah, and it's not just dirt and grass. It's like Halo scale, like monuments, and yeah. You know, they better have some type of portal thing, you know? Because that's one thing that I love seeing for like when they were doing for people doing custom terrains, like they would have these like portal windows and stuff. We really need something like that for the
What if we just get a Wellspring tile piece to put on the board for an objective game mode?
Or even a Wellspring glyph, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Even like the Wellspring terrain would be
or
sick.
A Wellspring set.
Put on there.
Just
maybe
give us the terrain
or something.
And give us the design. You know.
You take off a wound marker if you start your turn next to the Wellspring or something like that.
If they do the faction war, what do they call that at ScapeCon? What do they call that?
General Wars.
General Wars. So like, imagine if we made that like a game type where it's like, okay, it's General Wars, but the objective is to capture the opponent's Wellspring.
Yeah, or like King of the Hill, like survive more turns around.
Yeah,
the
you could do that
in
too.
the middle
Yeah.
of the map or something. So just more. That would be cool though. More like historical, like lore-based terrain, just like the Fortress of Arkyrie, and then the new castle looks pretty sick. Einar's Castle or whatever. Like that was pretty cool. Just to see that new terrain, and it's like he said, I didn't think I needed more terrain, but now like I want it. Like bring it.
Well,
I always wanted more terrain. We just don't have the space for it.
If you don't think you need new terrain, just look up high ground tiles, and then you'll realize, oh yeah, I haven't scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, true.
Okay, thank you, Justin, for the comment, and yeah, just keep on let us know your thoughts. And next from Stephen Taylor, it says, can't wait to see what they do with the scenery in particular. While the game certainly has legs and there are some sharp minis in the lineup, when I am playing at a local store, the scenery is always what draws people over. Absolutely. And with all the new pieces getting teased, especially with some returning classics, so good. It also says, and thanks for activating Pocket Casts, which Pocket Casts is another outlet to where the ToV Podcast, the audio version, can go out to. And yeah, I mean, from from the internet hub that I have where I take the podcast to, there's an option for that, and if you and Steven asked for it, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can adjust this, and oh yeah, I can add it on, so I did, and so it's on there now. And I mean, it might take me time to get to other places via podcast, but if someone's listening and there is a particular place to where they listen to podcasts, just let me know where, and I'll add it on if I don't got it. I mean, I'm agreeable in that way, so yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, Steven, for the comment. Okay, now coming up to Steve, and again, I forget how this is pronounced. Hopefully I pronounce it again correctly, because he says, okay, you actually are saying my name correctly. Steve Munar, I guess. Kind of like Lunar? I don't. I laugh because every year in school I can remember how my last name gets butchered. Well, if I butchered it, I'm sorry. So no worries. Love all the work that you all put in. Thank you. You're welcome, sir, and thank you always for your comments, and yeah, always love hearing your thoughts. Now, next is from Demon Hunter Pillar P86, and this is a little bit of a long one, so let me read the first paragraph here. I enjoyed the short discussion of the potential languages and Tolkien and his relation to languages. It was refreshing that you all knew that he created the world for his languages instead of vice versa. The fact they are delving into developing a language, so how much they are potentially investing in it. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. When it comes to like the Valkyrie general symbols and then the languages underneath, yeah, at least it's a start, for them, and I think it's a very good start for that. And he says, in thinking about Raylan's abilities, I think an anti-Jandar ability, probably similar to Isamu, would be cool. For reference, here is the quote from Cyprian's bio. To make matters worse, Cyprian has been drinking the waters of the wellsprings, and he has received visions of his undead army. He believes eventually a portal will open, and his entire army will join him on Valhalla. The combined attack of a huge Marr army and Cyprians would bring certain doom to any opposition, in quotations. And then there's something else here.
One of my favorite quotes from all of the lore is that singular quote right there. Like, I just love Cyprian and just the thought of his whole undead army coming back. So.
Yeah, and he drinking from the wellsprings. He's the first non-Kyrie to be reported from drinking the wellsprings. I'm like, why would you give a vampire more power? I don't understand.
An undead creature on top of that.
Yeah, like vampire lord, and he's got several armies. He's like unmatched opposition in Phelan. Oh yeah, hey, you want to see visions of the entire galaxy? Here you go, buddy. Here's a cup of magic water, I guess.
And Demon Hunter also says from that quote, it is interesting that he only receives visions of his own army and not others from across time and space, like the Valkyrie did. He hadn't yet anyway developed a way to summon them, but there's no knowing the powers he could develop if he continues to drink them. Maybe part of what brings about the Age of Annihilation is Cyprian finally summoning his army, or in attempting to summon them, and instead summons the new factions, either accidentally or on purpose. Quite possibly.
Yeah, I do hope Cyprian still plays a part.
It's going to be interesting to find out what the cause actually is, for sure. I think for me that's like definitely on the top 3 of my list of things that I want to know about. Is like, okay, what sparks this? What brings us into this age, and what are the true results for it? Does it affect the universe or just Valhalla or both? It'll be interesting to see. Right. Oh, and one thing with Demon Hunter 2, Paul, I think it was Paul that was mentioning as well. Redwall, I know Redwall has come up, and I just wanted to show this. So I did get a copy of Redwall, and it's the first one. And I'm currently, I'm currently like 100 some pages into it, and it's a lot of fun. I am enjoying. So those of us old geezers who haven't read this thing, yeah, definitely read it. I really like it so far. It's very like, I mean, it's got it. Now I got a question actually, and this is off subject, but when reading Redwall, it almost feels like I can't tell if these creatures are like still miniature sized and like the buildings are gigantic for like humans, or sometimes it feels that way, but other times it feels like they're as big as the buildings, and some creatures are bigger than others. Would you happen to know like the lore of that book, Ben, if that's the case? Or
don't.
Which way?
I do know that like it is in proportion to like, it is in proportion to like their real world counterparts. So a mouse is going to be as proportional to a badger as he regularly would be.
Okay.
I think,
right,
because they talk about like the badgers and the other creatures, and even like the snakes being these gigantic creatures,
right,
but that's because the mouse is so small.
Right.
So I think that's the thing is, and like it's funny, I don't know why, but that just tapped into my sensory memory when you talked about like the buildings, and like I just like it brought me back to reading the book, and just like like just like a cottage, or like the wood workings. Like I just pictured that a lot in my head. It's like a lot of like wooden tables and a lot of wooden chairs. But like I got the impression, it's been so long, like literally I think
sure,
freshman year of high school was the last time I read a book.
Right.
Not a book, but like a book about this series. And so, but I think it was built to like the animals. I don't think there was any humans at any point in this.
Well, I don't know if the animals are like a human scale, or if they're just like, if a human would walk in, that they'd just be regular animal scale, or if they are on the scale level of humans, and this is just a universe where humans aren't there and they're at the scale of humans. So yeah, I could see it that way, but anyway, that none of it has to do with Heroscape. It was just something I had in my head, but still, very enjoyable story. Definitely recommend anybody at least getting
check
the first book
on that. On that too, because it might be older than you. I don't know.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, like, you said for the old geezers, it might be older than you.
Quite possibly. But it's not something that. Oh yeah, you're right. Looks like 1986. So, yeah, just something I missed then apparently. But hey, I turned 40 in a few months. Give me that, all right? Come on. Anyway, thank you so much, Demon Hunter, for your comments, and for everybody commenting on YouTube. Always love the support. Now, before we sign off for tonight, there are there's a few things that I've like screenshotted from this past week, but there's two comments that I found interesting, so I want to get into those because I think it's a kind of good subject matter. First one I'm going to talk about is, let's see here, something from N. Carmine. And let me just read this, and then we'll talk about it. And it says on Discord, he's talking about his interns, and just a little bit, I think it gives you a perspective of what goes on kind of inside of Avalon Hill probably. So he says, I tell my interns to draw, and draw some more. Drawing is a diminishing skill, not a talent. Fill sketchbooks and keep them. They are a portal into your creative process, and give would-be employers a glimpse into your process that an academic portfolio would be incapable of providing. I also suggest working outside of the bounds of your assignments. Creative directors see a lot of portfolios, and at this point, I can tell a student what the entire assignment was just looking at the pages. Go beyond the asked and produce portfolio pieces that transcend the assignments and leverage your own interests and hobbies to pick the subject matter. You are already an expert in those brands. You just don't realize it. And I don't know who he's talking to there. But I like that like stance of leadership and how he approaches people to do things. Basically, go outside your bounds. If you want to be creative about something, you have an idea, then pursue it. you know, just go all out with it, which that's a really cool thing.
That's what you say all the time.
Exactly. It's like
that was like just like great life advice, like just like a little snippet there, like that you take that, like, and that just could be, you know, applied to many different things, because a lot of things are diminishing skills that just need to be practiced, or else they go away.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I need to get back into drawing. I haven't done it in a long time, so.
I need to get back into animating. I haven't done it in a long time.
Diminished.
Start writing more scripts. All right. Now this next comment, this is kind of negative, but it also shows, and I found this one on Facebook, on Heroscaper's Facebook, and
it's a scary place.
But I mean, it does like just give a little insight into, like, yes, there are those of us excited about the lore, but then there's those of us who not, and I can understand it. So this comment comes from Sam Barone, I believe that's the last name. Sorry if I butcher it. But it says, and I think this comment came from a survey. And basically saying, to be honest, I don't really care about any of the lore if they're not going to focus on heavily campaign or story-based levels. Like, I kind of find it a waste of time if at the end of the day the focus of the game is just to throw armies at each other. Like, I love that about the game, but the lore doesn't even matter at that point. Like, a TV show or comics would be cool, but it would honestly just be oversaturation. So basically, I think someone was talking about, they were given a survey about, you know, if there was a TV show or animation. Of course, I had to interject and be like, okay, here's my trailer, here's a link to my trailer, here's a link to my trailer, here's a link to my page, because there's already a show out there. Come on, throw me a bone, people. But no, I mean, I think there's some good points that Sam is saying here. When it comes to, you do need, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm reading this wrong, but you do need a game that works well in order for the lore to have more weight, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And so there are those people out there, and I've already understood this a long time ago, that any type of lore or story, especially an oversaturation, they don't want it. They just want to play the game and have a good mechanical game to play, and just totally, you know, just outdo any opponent that they want, and that be their interaction, which is fine. You know, they just want to build the miniatures, have the terrains, and if those are significant, then maybe explore some of the story that's behind it and gain interest that way. So I can understand that a bit.
My debate with when people start to like plant flags and very specific requirements for their games, it's like, why not both? Like, do you think that they're going to ditch the mechanics because they're focused on the lore? Or do you think they're going to be working on everything in equal measure? Because, you know, we haven't seen any mechanics, so they can't tell us. That's the thing. They can't tell us any of the mechanics yet. Like, these aren't finalized concepts. You know, Chris mentioned weeks ago that what we've been getting are concepts because this is the best he can do for us until the launch of the HasLab. This is the best he's trying to give us something to look forward to. And so, like, I don't think, like with all the everyone's like, man, there's so much lore, we need more mechanics. Like, he'll give it to us when he can. You know, it's always been like this, especially with old Heroscape too. We didn't see the cards till maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe, I want to say it was very, very close to the launch day when the sets were in the store. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, you know, like they would drop pictures first. I think it was like first it was like blurred photos, and then it was like actual pictures. And then we got like one card every week. And then the final week was the week it came out. And then we could buy it. So it was like I mean, I don't think they're trying to say, you know, with the idea of a TV series, the idea of a comic series or whatever, with the idea of a full reaching story, that they're just not going to have a game. You know what I mean? Like, there's still going to be a space for those that just want to play the game. You know, still going to have a space where you can learn the strategies that will dominate your opponents. Like, and then if that's all you do, that's totally fine.
Mhm.
And then everyone who likes a story could be in their space and do everything that's story related. But I don't think one's going to drop in quality because of the other having more content.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
want people to feel comfortable with the decision that they're making, that everything's going to be seen at equal level. Just
Mhm.
be like, all right, this game's gonna be garbage to play, but it has a great story. You know, I really genuinely think they're gonna do really good with mechanics too. Because I mean, they got Sky Knight. He's been doing rules since Wave 9. You know,
Mhm.
so he knows the game. So I'm hoping. I mean, and that's just like, you know, that's just what I hope. You know, I could be wrong, and then we get these like really OP characters to destroy everything. I don't know. Who knows? But
It's a Q9. Q9 over here. You get a Q9.
I think he
2-9
was
days.
actually like he was more like the opposite, to where we're getting all this lore and all these mechanics, but the actual gameplay at the end of the day is throwing armies at each other. When he wants more of those the things at the end of the rule book, like the what are the situations, or like the
Mhm.
Scenarios.
Oh,
Yes.
Scenarios.
scenarios.
Right.
Yeah, that's what.
Right, for sure.
Like he wants more of the scenarios, because that guy who wrote that, Sam Barone, he's Scapegoat. He's the one that does those
Okay.
little one-off like maps,
There
and
you
so
go.
you could just, by the way that he does those maps, you could tell like he's more into like almost kind of like a RPG style gameplay. When he wants more of that, like, why give us the lore when at the end of the day it's almost going to be thrown out of the window when I'm just putting my army against your army, whereas if the lore was incorporated into the scenarios, that's what gets him going. You know, that's what I got from that. It's like he wants, the only reason he doesn't care about the lore is because it's literally going to have nothing to do with the actual gameplay itself. Whereas he's saying, I would be a lot more interested in the lore if, in fact, there were more in-depth scenarios.
Right.
Like that's what, and I could see that too, because I'm not speaking for him, but as someone who, for me, yeah, I have my brother to play with, but more often than not, I'm sitting here with a collection of Heroscapes that I can't do anything with because it's just me by myself when I need another person to play. So if they had more like of a campaign style storyline at the end of the rulebook, that would be really sick if I could go do an RPG by myself with the terrain that they supplied or something like that. And I think that's more of what he's trying to touch on, is why all this lore when at the end of the day it's just going to be tournament style beat 'em up, like bring your
I see
best
that,
army,
yeah.
For sure.
as opposed to like, let's play this scenario, you know. And I think that would be cool too. I'm not really one for scenario games. Like me and my brother, we like, our channel is battles. So like it's just like make a good army and throw them together. I had a great time at ScapeCon because of that fact. Like I got to build armies that were strong and meta, and I got to work the meta. So I'm more that kind of player and less a scenario RPG like dungeon crawl. But I could see myself getting into that, especially if there was like a solo map like he has a lot of times. Like maybe there's even like I think in the past in one of his like mini maps, it was just like a solo map. Like there's NPCs on the board, but you're controlling these characters or something like that. That would be cool, because that could also broaden the Scape community, as you don't have players to play with, and maybe I don't like playing online or whatever, so let me get the scenario that I could campaign by myself, which would be cool, you know. Like I don't mean to like,
right,
you know, you guys have valid points too, like,
right,
but
No,
I
that's
just think
fair.
that's maybe more what he was trying to put at, is like he loves the lore to the point where it's like, this does nothing for me because it doesn't have anything to do with the actual game I play on my table. You know,
And-
it's more of a concept.
And
So-
I was gonna like mention this actually in a future stream, as I was actually telling Joe this before we got started tonight. But we were actually talking about Sam's YouTube channel, because I've seen most of his videos already. I really love what he does in his videos, and so I was actually gonna plug it in a future stream, because I knew this tonight was going to be a long stream, but I guess I'm going to do it tonight anyway. So yeah, Sam, you have a great YouTube channel, and I don't think you have enough subscribers, so there's going to be a link in the description below on YouTube for a YouTube channel. Check out Scapegoat. I know it's actually hard. When I was searching for his channel, it's hard to type Scapegoat in the search bar and find his channel, actually. At least I did. I had a hard time finding it. So there will be a link for Sam's channel below, because I think he does some great videos, and maybe possibly have him on in the future so he can actually give his thoughts in his own words. It'd be great to have him on board. So we'll see. And actually, I will showcase his channel maybe next Sunday stream or sometime in the future for sure, because I do like what he does. So yeah. It's like I know how to pick them, don't I? My goodness, I didn't even realize that.
You did. But there's too, like, just to like kind of put, his videos are like not super short, but they're short and like to the point.
They are.
And like they're funny and they're just really well done. So definitely I vouch for his videos too.
It's very impressive work.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that is the live stream, and we did a pretty good job tonight. Not bad.
Wow.
Oh,
Not
there's
bad.
one more thing.
Okay,
No!
One more thing. It's the last thing, I promise. So apparently it's no longer the Craven Court. They changed the name to the Nemesis Warbrood.
What?
Nemesis.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, one more
The
time.
Nemesis Warbrood.
Nemesis.
Warbrood.
I don't know if
What-
that
is this
rolls
like-
off the
Chris-
tongue any easier.
Did this happen like real time, like as we were?
Yeah, Chris made he made a comment like somebody was I think it was Anatar does the keeps all the information in order on the forum, and Chris was then like, hey, quick, Anatar, while no one's looking, change the name of the Craven Court to the Nemesis Warbrood. And I think he was actually like, yeah, they're planning on changing the name. So yeah, the Buggos have a new name now. So.
You guys just got your first live, as it was happening, ToV update of Age of Annihilation.
These things are happening.
If you're watching live,
like
it's
real
the only...
time update.
Exactly. Only here you can find this. You know,
we're grabbing these as we can. Like,
Yeah. That was good.
Anywho, all right. So how about we close this out? Give you guys a chance to give your last thoughts, and then tell the audience where you're from. Joe, crazy. Go ahead and go first.
Where do you even start with that? What kind of loaded question is that? Oh my
your
god!
final thoughts.
Every time.
Final thoughts, bro. Honestly, from my final thought is go support Avalon Hill. Go check out the stream on Saturday, October 1st at 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. Hasbro Pulse's YouTube channel. That's my final thought. That's all I keep thinking about this week is that. That's my entire week right now. So all of this is all fun and games. That's all great. I love it. I don't know why I'm going to have to keep saying it, but that's all I want thinking about. So if anything, I'll go through my own opinions when I do this week's in my own version of the update videos. Oh god, I got to do this all this week. Ah!
And I love it how you shout my name, so like, thanks a lot, Ryan, or and stuff
Oh yeah, like that. I have to, man.
Yeah.
You thought it was gonna be the sun, or you had thought I don't know. That was a while ago. I think it was Sergeant Drake. But anyway, you always have your opinions. I gotta say something about it.
Okay.
But I am not crazy. I'm Joe Crazy. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Jeremy.
all right. As I of the Eslam Collates, I have all the excitement for October 1st, and honestly, that's my final thoughts. I want October 1st to be here now, but hey, this week is supposed to change. Like, it's supposed to blow our minds. He said that we're gonna see some stuff that we didn't expect. That we're gonna be like, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing, and we're apparently still not gonna see everything before October 1st. And then October 1st is when the HasLab goes live. So, to add on to Joe's statement, check out that stream on Saturday, 2:15. When the HasLab goes live, if you have the financial means to back it, please back it. If we hit those goals, Heroscape will physically come back. It's
gonna come back regardless, but it's gonna come back, and we're gonna get movie deals. We're gonna get
we gotta give them the revenue. We gotta prove to Hasbro. We gotta prove to all the higher ups in Hasbro.
It's not that we don't. It's not that they don't need the money. They need to see that the Heroscape community is bigger than we could have ever imagined.
Yep.
We need the old people. We need the young people. We need literally every single person on this earth to say, hey, that looks cool, and then they go out and go check out the Heroscape universe film with everything, Sergeant Drake, played by Chris Evans. Okay, that's what we need. That's what we're gonna get. Let's support it.
So, October 1st, that's the day. We gotta do everything we can to support it, and then we got 45 days to win that Hasbro campaign target.
Day one, 4 million.
We gotta get in 2 hours. Yo, what if we beat the HasLab before the show ends? Like, what if
dude, I'd honestly, I just blow up. I'll just implode.
Like, as they're trying to show off the stuff, boom, and we hit the goal. And they're like, well, I guess they didn't even need 45 days. It just happened that hour. I would love that. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. If we can do that, let's, do it. Let's do what we can to support them. Share the word, post on social media, talk about it with your friends, do everything we can. It's going to be great. We apparently got an animation they're going to be showing off on Saturday because they got the voice actor for Thorman. Yeah. We're going to hear that character on Saturday. So, it's going to be pretty intense. So, let's look forward to a fantastic weekend. And I am the owner of the Eslam Collate, a channel and platform that documents and talks about the lore and narrative design of video games and board games, including Heroscape. I talk about the lore of that game all the time with everybody. Trust me, everyone is. They always hear me talk about the lore. So, and you can catch me on Twitch. You can catch me on YouTube and on Twitter. On at @the_Eslam. You can find my stuff there. And I do all the lore stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So,
Ben.
What's up? MK Plus Ultra, Ben here. My final thoughts are also on October 1st, PulseCon live stream. And I'm gonna guess Ryan's last thoughts are also gonna be about PulseCon. Guys, you gotta show up.
Yep.
I wonder why we're all so excited about PulseCon.
Because of the Hasbro.
But that's our final thoughts. PulseCon, be there or be square. We will call you squares if you are not there. And even if not, we will be updating all the information that Sunday night, I believe.
Yes.
So
yes.
Either way, if you're still square, you can still come to our show, our ToV live.
The ToV Podcast.
You'll still get that information. Tune into the podcast. But that's pretty much all I have to say too. Awesome updates this week. Next week, like if it's gonna blow my mind, I can't wait. Like I my mind has been blown several times. So what's another time to be blown? It's good.
It's guaranteed.
But good times ahead. October 1st, PulseCon, 1:25 PST. Is that when they tune in? Is the question.
Something like that. But just keep your eye
It'll be down in the
on the YouTube
right,
channel. Yeah, keep your eye on the YouTube channel. On Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, whatever it's called, that YouTube channel. They'll be in link in the description.
Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel. They will be the ones doing the live stream, so be sure to tune in on Saturday. Get your seat tune in at 7 in the morning. Like, just be there. Just get your chair and sit up and bring your blanket. Be the first in line to the digital con. But I am, like I said, MK Plus Ultra. I do battle videos, Heroscape battle videos on my channel, MK Plus Ultra. We have an awesome battle coming out tomorrow. It is Blastatrons, Gladiatrons, and Major Q10 against Alex's Knights and Champions. So it's a doozy of a battle. There's a giveaway going for my channel. You can win a brand new in-box Fortress of the Archive reset if you go to the Grudge Match Giveaway 2 battle. Follow the steps at the end of that episode, and you will be entered to win this brand new in-box set. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I love the set. And new content weekly. I'm loving this podcast. Great group of guys. Scapegoat, also a new up-and-coming content creator. We need to blow him up. He has some really good videos.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on a few YouTubers, so there might be others in the future as well. We'll see.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out.
Yep. And,
especially with this new Age of Annihilation, I feel like a lot of people are kind of like getting the idea to like, hey, let me, do some new content. For sure.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, for like all these guys, their links in the description below for them. Like I said, press all the buttons, do all you can to support their channels, and I know a lot of you listening do. So thank you so much for that. And yes, I am Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. I, of course, I'm the guy who, for the past several years, has been creating the stop-motion animated adventure based off the board game Heroscape, and still continuing to do it. We got 2 full seasons already on YouTube, working on season 3. And this coming Wednesday, we'll be live streaming. I'll still be editing for episode 7 of season 3. Still editing. Yes. Those special effects aren't going to do themselves. And so be live streaming that on Wednesday, and then of course this Thursday night we will be going over what's been happening this coming week for whatever Discord information we get from Chris. If it's going to blow our minds, yes, we're going to have to talk about it so we can have that out of the way for the weekend. And so yes, lots of live streaming going to be going on this week, and so yeah, it's going to be fun. And then I got a couple more comments to see here from Undamped Justin here. He says, always a great time. Unfortunately, I'll need to catch the replay for next week. I have tickets for Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band next Sunday night. Hey, just enjoy yourself, man. Absolutely. Will we see the cards this week? Hashtag show me the cards. So you got to follow me, Joe. I want
get trending.
I want Paul Dano. Who's Paul Dano? To be Sergeant.
You know who Paul Dan? Well, he was the.
If I see the face, I'd probably recognize.
He was the Riddler in the New Batman, and he played an amazing villainous character in not Labyrinth, but it's a maze movie. Shoot, I can't think of it.
Labyrinth.
But yeah, he's an amazing what?
Maze movie. That's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, well it is a maze movie. Different movie. But yeah, no, he's an amazing actor. Yeah.
I'll look up the actor. I'll probably know exactly who they is. But
yeah.
But
I don't know about Sergeant Drake though.
Yeah, well, Sergeant. I know in my heart, Sergeant Drake will always be my best friend Sean Gallagher, who voices Sergeant Drake for ToV. But I'll give it to you, Justin, for now. And then Undamped Pick says, get Sir Heroscape to join. Quite possibly sometime down the road, we might. Quite possibly. The door is always open for him because I mean he's part of this community for sure. He's been longer than actually. Well, I have to check the upload dates. I think he was a little bit earlier than me, but Tales of Valhalla, the YouTube has been has been around for just almost as long as Heroscape. But he definitely is the man when it comes to the content and the viewers for sure. So yeah, would love to have him on board. So thank you for the comments, those commenting live tonight. Thank you so much. And I was about to say, as always, my friends, what we do in life echoes in eternity. But that's your thing, Ben. I'm sorry, but I love that quote. But with that,
try again, take 2.
Try again, take 2. We will take our dice and roll.
Yeah. Nice. SoundCloud, let's do it.
No, I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else I need to say before signing off? I don't think so. But again, if you're watching this on YouTube, like I said, all links in the description below. If you're watching this on the ToV Podcast via whatever audio channels you're listening to, go linked in the description below if you want to find out all the places to go to the Tales of Hell YouTube channel, and you'll find all the information there. And yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everyone always for your support, and just bigger, better things definitely in the future. The future is bright. The future is bright, and can't wait to see what happens near the end of this week. So with that, I will say what I always say. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Yo.